Welcome back to the Unnecessary Roughness YouTube channel. I have the giggles right now because what transpired in the middle of this show is nothing short of shocking. I hit the ground at one point. I tried to walk out. So you are going to enjoy the shit out of this show if we do say ourselves.
If we what now?
I can't get over that. What just happened?
We list our Heisman winner. We list our national champ winner. We get into all of it, and we
talk
get ready
week zero,
for college football, baby.
So college football is here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. Enjoy the show. Like your beard.
Every time I get the beard, you love the beard. You and Katie both are team beard.
I sexually harass you more when you have a beard.
Correct. It really gets you going. I just, when it gets to like 4 or 5 weeks, A, it gets white. And B,
which I have told you I think looks
it's
good.
like sticks straight out and gets scratchy, and I don't like it. It feels heavy on my face. But I've been told this time, just when it gets that level, get like beard oil.
Yeah.
And relax. I always thought beard oil was just to make it shiny, and I wasn't interested in that. But if it relaxes it, it makes it feel better, then I might try that.
Well, how do you think that people with like scruff all the time like handle it?
Like James
I
Harden.
just felt like they were bigger men than I am.
No.
So
also like once you keep it
just
longer.
thought they weren't big fat pussies.
Once you keep it longer, it won't itch anymore.
You don't know that?
That's what I've been told. I don't know that. You're right, but that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I would also like it on record. Like, I love beards in general, so it's not just yours.
Yeah.
I think most men look better with scruff.
Agree.
All right. Well,
Right?
I'm gonna grow it out this time. See what happens.
How long are you gonna grow it out?
I don't know. I'm at about 2 weeks right now.
You have to take care of it. You cannot complain if you don't take care of it.
I can do whatever I want. It's my face.
I know.
I can do whatever I want, Katie. You don't have dominion over my face.
Self-care.
Self-care.
Oh, I self-care all the time.
Oh, Jesus.
What? I'm talking about,
You know,
just
you're not.
bathing, brushing my teeth,
That's not what you were talking about.
taking Advil when I have a headache.
You want to do a podcast? We don't have high noon on the table.
We don't have high noon on the table. Let's get high noon on the table, and then we'll start the podcast. Here comes the high noon. It's being delivered.
Bang.
Boom. Let's go. Hi, welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast. And this will be the last podcast of the year that doesn't come after a college football game.
Bang.
It is brought to you by High Noon Hard Seltzer.
Makes me happy.
Boy, we got the lime in front of us. It's good, pleasing, and green. I love looking at it. They got the peach. They got the grapefruit.
That was so weird.
The black cherry. The watermelon.
It's good, pleasing, and green.
The mango. The passion fruit.
That's where you went with that.
Which I've never had the passion fruit.
I have. It's pretty good. I mean, we all know what my favorite is, but
Yeah,
I have a
you
favorite
like to bathe in
child.
the peach.
Yeah, I still haven't done that. But the lime, sneaky.
Can
Sneaky.
I say that I've noticed you haven't done something? You didn't bring DMs, did you?
So Katie came up to my desk just a second ago and asked me if I had, and I said no. And she said, "Okay, let's just do it Sunday."
You also suggested
we'll do
that.
it Sunday.
Oh,
I did not. He did. I didn't suggest it Sunday.
How? Are you guys just?
We should not do it not in person.
Well, I'm saying, like, if it's not today,
We should not do it
one.
on Zoom.
I do agree with that, but also
Just because of.
well, also it's just funnier when I can hand it to him.
Yeah.
But,
It's just better in person.
Do you guys just have meetings without me? Like no one.
Yeah.
It was in passing.
all the time.
No, it was in passing because we were texting.
They love. Katie and Jack love meeting without you.
No.
I mean,
like,
I walked.
I do
mean,
not
just,
do the meetings.
Just
That's Katie.
I
That's
walked
today.
in. I walked in and to our meeting deck 'cause we have a meeting every day. And I was like, "Hey, y'all gonna tell Casey?" And they said, "No, we're not telling."
So I
What
don't-
you call her, Dragon Lady?
Well, Katie
Dragon?
tells me everything, so
which
I don't.
dragon? Which?
I
you
have
called
a
her
feeling
something.
you're the ringleader of this because Katie tells me everything. But
Actually,
I will
Jack.
say that I walked out to get a water in the lobby today, and inside the radio room were the three of you meeting about unnecessary roughness.
But right
No,
before
no,
that,
time.
I was
We were-
walking upstairs and
I called
Brandon
him.
yelled at me, "Hey, boy!"
I didn't say boy. Also, we were meeting about an unnamed project that is that is in the works.
9/3/21.
Me and Katie were meeting about that, And then Jack walked by, and then we had to get Jack to talk about unnecessary roughness. And then you walked up, and then boom, it was an unnecessary roughness meeting.
That is the truth. Well,
I'm just saying it looks suspicious.
You know
oh
what?
no, it does. But
I don't give
I'll
a
back
hot
up his
fuck what
story.
it looked
Oh,
like.
no.
We had to have a meeting. We had to talk. So
Because and right before that, I said I'm going to get a woman that works in the merch department,
Yes.
Pilar, because guys,
we got merch.
Oh,
we got
and not only
some-
do we
they're
have merch
cool-
come in,
it's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like last year we put out unnecessary roughness shirts.
It wasn't as cool.
It wasn't as cool, but we still at least we did it.
Yeah.
We finally did it. Like
And
year
we have
two.
the boards
and
now.
we have the boards now.
Katie's taking us to another level.
Truly, this merch that's coming
Haven't
out
we had the boards
is
for a
sick.
long time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Katie.
we would have never got them if
we,
Katie didn't
we
come aboard.
literally didn't have them for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then Katie came in like the next week we had them.
Yeah. No. Like I said, Katie's taking this to a whole other level.
Get shit done.
So it's week 0.
Week 0.
I'm not gonna hold you guys' hand or pee on your leg and tell you it's raining. Week 0, not great.
But it's week.
It's football. It's football. We got
It's
Nebraska.
an
Illinois.
appetizer. It's
an
like
appetizer.
not so great appetizer.
Just remember, like 2019, the appetizer was Florida, Miami.
Yep, I know.
Now the appetizer is Nebraska, Illinois. You know, it's a coach that
And
might get
UConn,
fired against a coach
Fresno.
that just got there. You know, I don't know. So
Did you see the timing difference?
what?
The slate. It's like 1, 2,
Yeah,
3:30, then 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
Like,
What are you supposed to do?
Like,
Yeah.
why is UConn playing Fresno State at 2? It should be a standalone at 4. Like, people would
They're
watch
playing
that.
2 Eastern.
Yeah,
They're playing
which is,
Fresno at 11 o'clock in the
yeah,
morning.
it's
in
the
California?
weirdest thing ever.
Like,
That
what are you
is
supposed
weird.
to do in the middle of the day? What do you recommend?
Sleep.
Fuck.
Drink.
Oh,
Fuck.
no.
Oh. What about all 3?
Nah.
Drink, fuck, sleep.
Oh, no, Katie.
It's okay. I'm praying the TVs come back. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no. Was that my fault?
You
We'll
pounded
we'll
the
just-
table so hard when you said that.
We'll keep going. Just keep
Was
going.
that my fault?
You're good.
Yeah, of course
It's
it was your
been
fault.
super
How is it
sensitive.
my fault?
It's
You
been
pounded
super
the table.
sensitive today. Everything's said.
Okay, can I say something? Not only is this super sensitive, this entire office is sensitive today. Everyone's yelling at
Yes.
everyone.
Are they?
Everyone is on
No,
one.
people are like,
Oddly.
I don't know why.
Like everyone is not okay today.
Hey, what's our company meeting coming up about?
I think it's just
Just
getting us
firing
ready for the
you.
football.
Yeah, just
It's 2 weeks after football season starts.
May I say something?
Yes.
How good did that email feel from David Blattman this morning that the college football show is 1 week away from today?
Felt okay.
What?
Felt okay.
It gave me tingles.
the set's gonna be complete on Wednesday or
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So and we're recording Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got a new set this year.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
In a new location.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, it's awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Sorry, Jack.
No,
Can't be a
no,
part
no,
of
no.
it, but-
I can't wait to see what happens. I still watch, with tears running down.
He's just sad all the time.
It's
Hey,
just like,
sad boy season.
no, yeah.
Should we announce what the decision we made about our recording
I
on the
don't
weekends?
know.
Or yeah, see.
See,
there
here's
we
the
go.
thing. Every time we
You
do
want
this
an out,
live,
don't you? You want
No,
an out.
no.
It's not that. It's just that every time that we say these things before they like we know exactly how it's
So
gonna
we just
work.
want to have it be a surprise when it happens.
Yes.
Well,
How about we tweet it out?
When we
Yes.
when we're sit down to record, we'll tweet it out.
that's what the
Yeah.
meeting was.
We will
Yes.
definitely have one
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that first weekend.
Yes,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
I just feel if usually when we say things
Yeah.
prematurely, we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Okay. All right. So we got week 0. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this cluster of an alliance, which is
Don't-
probably the most embarrassing built-up announcement I've ever seen.
An absolute
not only in college
clown
football
show.
but in sports.
No, it's
Clown show.
It's the most nothing thing I have ever seen. Got a little bit of college football news once Katie figures out how to
I'm
figures
working
out the
on it.
wires over here so we can see the college football news. And then
it's not her fault.
It's my fault apparently.
Katie, look at me. It's not your fault.
It's okay to not
It's
be
never
okay.
your fault.
It's not
It's
your
okay
fault.
to not be okay.
Katie, it's not your fault.
Don't
Oh,
be a
no.
shitty person
I feel
today.
like I walked into AA.
It's not your fault.
It's yours.
Oh wow, that's not really how that goes.
It's not your fault. Is that? I mean,
It's Goodwill Hunting.
I've never seen it.
It's not your fault.
It's a great movie if
It
you
is a
ever have
great
time.
movie.
I know we're getting into football,
You
but
should really watch Goodwill Hunting.
It seems sad.
It's not.
It's not, but it's
Oh,
not.
I'm
it's
confusing with
not
Old
like-
Yeller.
They don't kill him at the end.
Spoilers.
It's definitely not Old Yeller. By the way, movies where dogs die are infinitely
no.
sadder.
Yes.
Like
or
Marley and
any
Me?
animal.
I will
any,
never see
any
Marley
animal
and Me.
die. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, my sister still hasn't seen Marley and Me.
I won't either.
I-
What's the point of seeing it?
You know what? I was flying out to fucking Vegas,
Yeah.
and I was on United, and they only give you a choice of like 5 movies, and so I'm sitting there, and I'm on an aisle. I'm on see whatever. So I can see to my left. I can see everywhere. I see a lot of seats around me, right? What movie do you think was playing on like 80% of the TVs in my purview?
Why don't you tell us the 5 movie options and then we get to pick one? I'm good at
Once I
multiple
say
choice.
the one movie, you're going to know what it is.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Was it? First of all, I would have loved that.
That's like a good plane movie.
The Margot Robbie. You can't watch that on a plane when she comes out with the.
Well, if it's on United, they would probably like.
And I can
it'd be
keep my
censored.
hormones in check.
There is a thing. Flight horniness is a thing.
Yeah, the guy beside me was watching something the other day.
And
I don't know. He was watching like a show. I don't know
Two
if
Girls,
it was-
One Cup.
No, he was not
Oh,
watching
God.
Two Girls, One Cup, Katie.
Wolf of
How'd
Wall
you go
Street.
there?
2008?
How do you go there?
Yeah, well, Wolf of Wall Street is like if you're watching it on your own device, it is definitely a movie that you have to like either like shut your laptop or
Right.
like dim it a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you can't be having that. Entourage is the same way too. Which is, I've had to do multiple
Very much.
I
is.
saw on a flight back from London. You remember when I didn't tell you guys that I was going to London?
Right.
Yeah. Do you know this story?
I've heard it.
And
I-
then
what an
there
all-time
was
Jack
this
move.
movie on about a French farmer. It was the saddest movie. I almost started crying on the plane, and it wasn't even on mine. You know how you can watch it to the side?
Right, yeah.
I don't know if people know the movie. It's a French farmer. He gets addicted to like his farm. Or his farm burns down, and then he gets too big for his riches. He wants to be like a big farmer,
You mean
and then it burns down, and then he gets addicted to opiates or something, and it ruins his entire family's life. Oh my God, it is sad. That's all I'm gonna say. And you know what? I'll say it. I cried. I said it. No, I'm admitting it. I cried watching that movie. It was so sad.
What the fuck is going
It was
That's like 3 Yukon mentions right
it was
there.
the
Yeah.
it was the Blind Side. The Blind Side was the movie.
Yeah, it was Blindside. Yeah.
No,
Fuck, you caught me.
I saw.
No.
I
It
saw.
was The Blind Side. The movie when I started telling the
Oh.
story, you hijacked the story.
Oh.
Y'all, it was The Blind Side. The original story that you guys took over, it was the fucking Blind Side. And I got to watch Sandra Bullock marching around with a fake ass Southern accent, telling coaches how to fucking coach, and
I
that
love
big
that movie.
fucking goofy motherfucker.
Hey.
I ain't never had one of these. What is
Yeah,
it?
what
a
is
bed.
that? What is that? A bed?
A bed.
I love that movie.
No, you
I have-
don't.
I do. I have the church eagles today. Jack, I cried my eyes out on a plane because I watched A Star Is Born for the first time ever, and I was also like going through a breakup and wine drunk. So crying on a plane, no shame.
The scene where he saves the kid's life because he knows how to block.
I've not actually seen the movie.
Okay.
What?
There's this.
How have we've had this discussion
You
before.
have never seen it?
It's the worst. It's
Casey,
a whole.
Casey,
It's
Casey.
You've
propaganda.
I did
It's
not
fucking
know.
propaganda. It's bullshit. It's a
That
lies.
is fucking
It's all lies.
but
I've told you this before.
all
not
movies
only,
are realistic. No, you've never told me you haven't seen it. Now you've told me
I
it's
have,
propaganda.
I
No,
will.
he's-
No. Not only
chance.
have I never said not only have I said I've never seen it. I will never see it. My family's not allowed to see it. Nobody should see it. It's bullshit propaganda. Michael Oher watches like, oh, I wish I hadn't seen that shit. It's all a bunch of Ole Miss punk ass bullshit. It's fake. They
I
took
love
they
that
adopted
movie.
a 5-star tackle
Yeah.
from Memphis so he
I-
could go
listen,
to Ole Miss.
I
And
know,
they made a
I-
whole fucking movie where Sandra Bullock, she can't even act. She won the fucking best pick, the Oscar.
She definitely can act.
She can act, but she couldn't act in that movie. That was her worst acting, and
Her.
she-
She's a queen. Second of all, we've had this argument many times. We don't have to rehash it, even though we are. We're
How do you
yelling.
not remember I've
Like,
never seen Blindside?
Because you've never told me that.
The vein is popping in your forehead.
You're out of your mind.
Well, yes, I definitely am out of my mind, but you have never told me you haven't seen it.
Do you come in here drunk all the time?
No, I wish, but like
Do you have early onset dementia? What are we talking about?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm with Casey. I never knew you've never seen it.
See?
Yeah.
I knew you hated
You
it.
are.
You
We
guys
know you
are all
hate
full
it.
of shit.
No, we're not.
I knew you hated it.
You're
I knew
full of
you-
shit. You're full of shit. You're full of
Hey,
shit.
Roughnecks, I'll give you $100 if you find an episode
Where
where
he said he
says
hasn't
it.
seen it.
If you remember it and send it to me, I will give you
Not only
$100.
have I said I've never seen it, I will never allow my family to see
You
it.
have
Nobody
never
should see
said
it.
that.
You've
You've
never-
hated on the movie.
I think
you
I
said
saw
it's
it
terrible.
in theaters.
All of these things, but
The Blind Side is the biggest piece of shit ever in Hollywood, and it's all a lie. They didn't.
haven't even watched it.
They didn't adopt a guy because they got good hearts. They adopted a guy because he's a 5-star tackle, so he could go to Ole Miss because that's what they do there. They cheat to get recruits. Anyway, what?
That's where we're going.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I know your whole shtick with this thing.
This is not a
It,
stick,
it makes it way worse that you've never seen it.
and we'll never see it.
because a lot of movies are like over dramatized.
I mean,
if that's a
Michael Orr
word.
hates it.
Because it's all a lie.
Yeah, but a lot like I don't know.
It's
I
a
can't. I
lie.
can't have this fucking argument
Just like
again.
Oxford being the greatest. It's all a lie. It's all propaganda.
That's fine. It's a Disney movie. What they like?
It's not a Disney movie.
Yes, it is.
It may be. It may
Very
be.
much not a Disney movie.
I think that it is.
It may be one.
I'm telling you right now. Who can Google?
I'm
It's
going to. I'm
not
going
a
to.
Disney movie.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans? That's a Disney movie.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of. I thought that.
Fucker.
Yeah,
I can't believe.
Remember the Titans? You think all that was true? Fucking
No,
fantastic movie.
First of all, Remember Titans has its own problems, but it's at least based on a true story. Blindside is based on fantasy and reality and unicorns and shit.
Okay.
Katie, what are we doing? We're not going to be able to.
I
Maybe
don't.
it's
I'm
messed up
working
over
on
here.
it.
Maybe it's messed up over
I know we do. We probably should talk about some college football on week 0.
Did I fix it?
No, you
No.
didn't. What are you looking up?
The Blind Side.
No, it's not a Disney
It's not a
movie.
Disney movie.
Alcon Entertainment.
All right, my bad.
Okay, just
Unfortunately, my bad. Okay, let's. Why don't you know what we'll do? We'll wait for this to come back on. We'll do our things that we came prepared for first.
no. We're not going to do. We're going to do that first.
Well, I mean,
No, I feel like that's last. That's the main event of the evening.
Mm-hmm. So, why
Well,
do
we
you say
have
it like
the-
that?
Oh!
Hey!
Don't hit the table!
oh,
All
I
right.
did almost hit the table.
Okay,
Nobody
all right.
breathe.
If you hear a scream in this podcast, it's because it went off.
Well,
I will just cry.
that's pretty much why you always hear a scream.
I knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Hey, high five on that one. That was a nice tag
all right,
team
good
joke.
stuff. Barstool Sportsbook live in Jersey. I don't know
Tag
how many listeners we have in Jersey. I assume we have some.
Yeah.
Now live in Jersey. That makes 7 states.
It also
7
is just
states.
so beautiful for us because
Just right across the river,
I mean,
baby.
literally, you can just take a train right on over there,
Mhm.
place some bets.
Or if you live there, you just drive your car down to the Barstool Sportsbook house and just chill like what I'm going to do.
I know.
It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, now live in Jersey.
Nothing else to really. You're mad that you're not in
Oh,
the
I'm
Jersey.
very mad. That's bullshit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It is bullshit.
It's complete bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I should be like 3rd or 4th on that list.
First of all, like I'm gonna be doing a lot more because of football, and I know that my one promo a week does very well. But I was shocked that I was on it before you. There were other people that I was shocked that were on it before you.
Oh yeah, half the people. You got a part-timer Enrico who whines like a bitch every week. You got you who just said what you said.
Well, but
Marty's
now,
fine. Marty's fine.
I will also say,
What?
yeah. I mean,
Come on.
she's
our team.
Well, I also like
No, I was
my
I was
bet does.
acknowledging what she just
very-
said. I was
right.
acknowledging what you just
But
said.
it is to be said that my promo every week does very
Yeah.
very well.
And then we got 2 ladies who have visited the office a grand total
Now
of
that's
twice
if we want to
combined.
attack
Yes.
2 ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not you should not attack.
I did not
me.
attack you.
Kind of.
I was giving into
But-
what
No,
you
no,
said.
no,
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 She
no,
didn't.
I was shadowing.
I
He
also-
did not attack
He
you.
did not attack me. I will say I was shocked that you weren't in it. But I also would like to say
Got Megan losing money and
Yeah.
what Kelly Kapowski.
I will say though, I mean, I hate to like rub it in, kind of like you hate to rub in to Jack the college football show. That was one of the coolest things
funny.
ever for me because I love Jersey
Well,
Shore.
I never rub in the
No,
fact that
he
he was
did.
on one
Yeah.
show and then
Oh.
got kicked off. I
I was
never
about
rub
to
in that.
defend him.
I
Yeah,
never
don't do that. Don't do
when
that.
is the
He's
last
never done
time?
it.
When is the last time I rubbed in the fact that he was on the college football show one time and got fired? When is the last time I did that? Katie, can you answer me that question?
Last week?
3:56.
Been a long time.
Wednesday, August 25th, which is right now.
Okay. All right.
Also, I know we need to move on, but Jack told me he has some beef with you.
No, I don't. I was making that up.
You made up beef?
No, Casey was saying we were talking to Westy, our compliance guy, and then we were talking about honest roughness, and then Casey said it's rare that we all are on like happy with each other, and then I said no, I actually have beef with Brandon, but it was made up. Like I don't actually have beef with you.
Okay.
Today.
Oh, today, but like or in general too.
Give it a week.
Go
I
on.
give it this podcast. Anyways, let
Y'all
Katie.
y'all remember that time he threw me under the bus?
Which time?
Was that last year?
that was around this time last year.
Yeah, it was around this time.
Because
Remember
I
when
was
you threw
taking
me
a
under the
train
bus?
to Massachusetts to go.
That was a big bus. Hurt.
That was a
Ran
huge
right over
bus.
me.
I was hurt too.
Hit me. Well, you were hurt based on lies.
You hurt the people that you love the most.
You were hurt based on lies. You fell for lies. You fell for propaganda. That's what you did. You want to go watch The Blind Side?
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Well,
again.
this podcast is never even going to get started.
All right,
No.
so let's go through the
Let
news.
Katie explain this first.
Here's an exciting thing: the Barstool College football game on Play Barstool. Katie, take it away.
Basically, if you've done the NFL pigskin parlay, this is the same kind of thing. You have 10 games, and this is going to be special because of week 0. There's a few games this week. So it's going to go from this Saturday all the way up until next Friday. And yes, UNC Virginia Tech is one of the games. I made sure of it.
Ooh.
Basically, it's free to play. You go to the Play Barstool app. You can go to playbarstool.com.
Which is free to download.
Free to download, and it's free to play. $5,000 progressive jackpot. Progressive jackpot. And if you're the highest person, regardless, you get $1,000 or a split between the people. So, like, if everyone
Nice.
gets 8 people right, everyone who got 8 will split the money.
Okay.
And it's free to play. There's 10 games. Pick the over under.
And if I wanted to play for the first week 0 up until, which includes week 1 up until the Friday, I
Yeah.
join before Saturday.
Yes, you want to join because it's going to lock because the Nebraska-Illinois game is on it. So that's going to lock it then.
All right. Don't look too interested, you two.
They're
texting
texting.
each other.
We're in a tweet race. Oh, are you texting? Because I'm tweeting.
What are you tweeting?
Casey Smith is saying, I've never said I haven't seen the Blindside. I think I've been very public.
Thank you,
And then
Jack, for helping me out.
Play
with this a little bit.
Barstool app is really cool. There's so many options. I mean, we have Rough and Rowdy coming up this weekend where you can do as well.
Supreme
There's-
Patty, Pac-Man Jones
yeah,
is
Pac-Man
fighting.
Jones. Chef Donnie's going up against an Italian TikToker that he says is
QPC or PCQ.
QCP.
Thank you.
And I love Play Barstool app. It's awesome, and the college football aspect of it makes it even better.
Going to be amazing.
It's
And
also a free way
great.
to
then
It's
it's
gonna
going
be
to be
very
throughout
fun.
the entire season, right, Katie?
and it's a free way to test your knowledge. Like, I don't like to actually put my money on it, but this way it's like stone cold. You can kind of test yourself.
Yes.
And just, why not?
All
It'll
right.
help you get more interesting with the games.
Let's play Barstool. Check it out.
Cool. Yeah.
Good, good
Before
job,
we,
guys.
before
The
we, I'm
link
going to
is
go
in
over here to
the-
sneeze.
The
Go
link is
sneeze.
in the description, or if you're watching on
Bless you.
YouTube, it is on the. It's in the. Well, that's also the description
Before we dive into the news
on YouTube.
and everything, I want to thank the Roughnecks. The other day I gave you a number for an untitled project and said you can call it, and Jack tweeted out when you could call it, and you guys did in huge numbers. I would guess 100 calls. It was a lot. I was able to take like maybe 12 or 15. But
You guys had to take the number down.
guess we had to take the number down. Guess what? Tomorrow we're doing another run through. So 646-291-2437, 646-291-2437. Jack will tweet about 6 o'clock, and you can get on the second round of testing. If you were in the first round of testing, please don't call. Let other people
That
call.
is for Thursday the 26th.
Thursday the 26th, yes.
Okay, just want
So it's
everyone to
later
make sure.
today, or maybe, well, I don't know when you listen to it.
This
Whenever
people will be
you're
listening to
listening
this
to it.
tonight.
6
probably
p.m.
around 10
Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, August 26th. I'll probably be testing again.
And if you're going to error a message, that means the line is full. So just try again,
Okay.
and we'll
yeah.
try to get to you.
Yeah.
All
It
right,
filled
let's-
up quick. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's the pathway to the show. So I asked everybody last week. Let's go ahead and do our previews. Let's do our predictions. Later in the show, we'll do our Heisman picks. Everybody has their Heisman picks. They have their national championship picks. They have their playoff 4, their surprise team of the season, their disappointing team of the season, their coach of the year, and the first coach fired,
And you added one.
and the game of the year.
Yes.
And I just realized I haven't written Coach of the Year or First Coach Fired, so I'm going to have to figure that out during the show. So I'll have to go last on those two. Anyway, before we get to all that, we've got some news, and includes maybe the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You
Also-
remember a couple years ago when Ole Miss was in trouble and they had the hostage video
Yes.
where it was their athletic director, their coach, and maybe somebody else, and they were sitting there and they looked like they were being held hostage?
Yes. This is
We
what
now
this
have a
looks like.
new hostage video.
Like, if
It
you're
is-
watching this, you know exactly what
This is
we're
a
talking
picture of the commissioners of the ACC, the Big Ten. That's Kevin Warren, the Pac-12, the ACC, and the Big Ten, the commissioners. And they are miserable. They
Miserable.
look absolutely terrible.
about. Can I say Kevin Warren looks more miserable here than he did last year every single time he had to do a press conference about if the Big Ten was playing football or not.
And
Forgot about that.
The one on the
So
bottom, I don't know if
miserable.
that's Pac-12 or ACC, but the one on the bottom absolutely looks like Bobby Petrino after the motorcycle accident.
He's the ACC.
That guy follows us on Twitter, so be
Does
nice.
he? What's
yeah.
his name? Which one is that?
He's the Pac-12
No, he's,
commissioner.
the bottom is ACC.
Well, the Pac-12 commissioner actually
George.
follows us on
Yeah, because
Twitter.
the one on top left has a Pac-12 pin on. And then Kevin Warren has a Big Ten pin on, and he has what looks to be, I don't know, like he's been marked for death or something. Anyway, so we found out a couple of weeks ago. Nicole Auerbach was probably the first one to report it there,
She's
too.
fantastic.
And we found out that in response to the SEC adding two of the best athletic programs in the country, Oklahoma and Texas, that the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 were working on an alliance.
Mm-hmm.
The language was always nebulous. We didn't know what it meant. Are they just going to shut off the SEC? Are they only going to play each other? Are they only going to do this? Are they going to have their own bowls? Are they going to have? We don't know. But they're going to have an alliance. And then we found out like Saturday or Sunday, they're going to announce it this week. Then on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, they announced it. And I'm going to play that announcement in its entirety right now.
Remember when Mike Gundy did that?
You just
Spit everywhere.
spit everywhere.
I just
I
can't.
was really interested to see how long that was going to go.
I just can't. I can't with these people.
I can't.
Like,
Can we be basic white bitches right now?
I can't. I can't.
I can't. I can't.
I can't
I
with you
can't.
guys. Really?
I just can't.
First of all, there's so many
cannot.
levels to this. All they really are doing together is they're gonna perhaps get together for some scheduling. And they're going to, I don't know,
Be together in the next era of college football?
Yeah. So what we did was we the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12, we saw our old lover, the SEC, and they were on Instagram with their new hotness, and they were putting pictures, and they were out having fun. So now we're together. Look at us. Look how much fun we're
Don't
having.
forget, you may want to lower that voice because it's a gentleman's agreement.
Can I please say something?
Don't say what I was going to say,
Oh,
but yes.
okay. How ironic it is that everyone was talking about the gentleman's agreement in the SEC with Texas and OU and A&M and everything, and then these motherfuckers come out.
Okay. Well, can I add a second take?
Yes.
How the fuck can you have a gentleman's agreement in a sport that has no fucking gentlemen?
None.
In a sport that's giving hookers away to recruits, in a sport that's absolutely doing whatever they can to get recruits, in a sport that's doing backroom shady deals? There's no gentleman in college football.
When I read this quote, there is no signed contract. There was an agreement among three gentlemen and a commitment, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was a joke. I was like, they are clearly playing off of the whole like SEC gentleman's agreement argument that was had a month ago. No, they're dead serious.
They're doing an alliance and didn't sign any pieces of paper.
What does that mean?
It's just a handshake. And so they're scheduling together and they're doing all these things that pretty much you could have already done. And like the door's still open for them to schedule big SEC teams.
I mean,
so
what is this agreement? What is the gentleman's agreement? Can someone explain what the actual agreement is?
These conferences are conferences. These are people that can't agree on a cup of coffee. I'm supposed to believe they're going to agree on things based on a handshake to stand up to the mighty SEC or whatever. Here's what's going to happen. They're just grandstanding right now. We're heading towards all 5 Power 5 leagues, whatever the Big 12 is left. They're going to come back together, and they're going to break off from the NCAA and SEC, and they're all going to be fine in the end. This was just grandstanding. That's all it is.
It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I wonder where the Big 12 stands on this right now.
We'll get to the Big 12 in a minute.
Did you see their quote where they said the Big 12 is a big part of Power 5 football in the future? Then why didn't you include them in your little party? They literally said, I'll get at the quote in the next few seconds. They said that the Big 12 is a big part of the future of Power 5 football. Then why aren't they on the Zoom, the hostage Zoom?
Right, I agree. They basically.
I don't think Bob Bowlesby has Zoom.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
He only has Google Meets.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean.
It's okay. Let's just keep
yeah,
marching
but
forward.
what I was thinking was that they basically said, okay, so the SEC, like, we're scared of them, and we just don't give a shit about the Big 12 because they're trying to steal all the Big 12 teams at some point.
No, because all this was, they decided a couple weeks ago, SEC has added Texas and Oklahoma, and it's changing the landscape of college football. We have to get together and have a unified reaction to this. And they never actually got around to the idea of putting together an idea for the reaction.
Right.
They just decided, hey, we're going to group together as a reaction, and here it is. But you didn't really do anything.
They prematurely decided that they wanted an alliance but didn't really think it through.
It's just a reaction to the SEC, and that's fine. They'll all eventually come back together.
Greg Sankey's quote about it was pretty good.
The SEC, what the SEC did a couple of weeks ago, and this is not an SEC homer thing. It's just true fact. They absolutely sent a cannonball. They did a cannonball and sent waves throughout college football and college sports. They sent tidal waves And this little alliance just kind of eased their toes into the pool because they're scared of the water a little bit, but we still want to swim with you guys. It's just
it was like they tried to do damage control because of what they were seeing happening with the SEC, OU, and Texas, and they did the complete opposite. Brandon, I've been telling you look very hot with that beard.
I just thought you were flirting.
Well, I was flirting.
Okay.
But also I think that you look hot.
Thank you.
But what's not fun? Being hot at tailgates.
Being too hot.
Being too hot. And I'll
Yes.
tell you right now, New York City, way too hot. It is disgusting.
I think everywhere's too hot.
It's too hot. But at tailgates, especially before games, you don't want to be too hot, and you know who's helping that out.
I get overheated.
You do get overheated.
But Canopy's coming in.
But Canopy fans. And you're a big fan of Canopy fans.
Big fan of fans, period, but I'm a huge fan of Canopy fans.
So Canopy fans, if you haven't heard of them yet, they're making your tailgate infinitely better.
Fans, underrated as a whole.
I mean, I love
fans. Are incredible.
Even like
to
just
sleep under, to do everything. Fans are
the
great.
The sound of them.
And this canopy, like it's hot in your tailgate. You got people everywhere. Boom. I understand this thing has a rechargeable battery, 6 hours of battery life.
Yes.
That's a whole tailgate.
Yes, it's a whole tailgate.
Whole tailgate.
It's a whole tailgate. The Canopy Breeze. Well, I mean, that just even is a cool name.
Oh,
so,
that makes me feel like I'm in the Bahamas.
right? Isn't that great? Canopy Breeze. Sounds like a drink.
Mhm.
That's how cool it will make you. It installs in seconds, which is huge because tailgates, obviously, you don't want to take too long to set up and tear down. There are only 4 hooks on the top that unfold and hang over the canopy frame. They snap in place, and that's it. And then you operate it with a remote. Who doesn't love a good remote? Everyone loves a good remote.
Everyone loves a good
So
remote.
then you can turn it off.
And a fan.
And you can turn it off during a game and then come back on, and it's still hot after the game. Turn it right back on. So it will move air.
I love Canopy.
I love Canopy.
I love fans. I
My
love
dad
tailgates.
has one already. Canopy
he?
sent him one. Yeah, he loves it.
Canopy sent it to him?
He did.
Yeah, send me a fan.
Well, they
I feel like
ask,
we do this every time.
they ask you. You just don't read your emails. So right now, Barstool fans and listeners only, you can save 15% today. Tailgate season's coming up. It's hot as shit outside. Go to canopyfan.com and use the coupon code
Walker?
and save 15% with the free shipping in the lower 48.
Bam. So Dave Wanstedt, this is changing gears now. Dave Wanstedt, former Pitt coach, former Miami Dolphins coach, former Chicago Bears coach, former a lot of things coaches. Long storied career. He was on 670 The Score in Chicago, and he says he was at the Fox meetings, the preseason meetings in Arizona, and he heard the following. He heard Oklahoma State and Kansas State to the Pac-12. He heard West Virginia to the ACC, and he heard Kansas and Iowa State to the Big Ten. Now, Kansas, Iowa State to the Big Ten makes sense. Kansas is a basketball play. Iowa State would be Iowa taking care of their brother. That's at least the way I read into it.
Definitely.
West Virginia to the ACC feels like a hand-in-glove fit.
I mean, that's
Feels
the
like they should have been
biggest
there the whole time.
Yeah, the biggest no-brainer ever.
Just bring them in, let them rival with Pitt, let them rival with Virginia Tech. Boom, that fits culturally. And then you got Oklahoma State and Kansas State to the Pac-12. And Oklahoma State, I mean, that's a very good athletic program. Usually a good, I would say they're a top 20 football program easily in the country, right?
What?
Oklahoma State. They're a top 20 program year in, year out.
Yeah.
I don't think-
I think,
Program, yeah.
No problem saying that. Yeah.
Is it a top 20 job?
I think it probably is.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're saying top 20 in terms of ranking.
I'm saying year in,
Program.
year out, as far as if we're ranking
Are they a top
programs,
20 program?
I
don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
I don't know.
I think
don't
they
know.
are.
5:30.
I think they are.
You think Oklahoma State has a better football program than Tennessee?
100%.
Are we talking about on the field?
I'm talking about on the field strength.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're
all
not
of
talking,
it. Yeah.
So it's like when we talk about Texas. Like Texas is one of the best football programs in the country, but they haven't been
But
on
they're
the
not.
field.
Yeah, right.
But like from a football program standpoint,
I think
they are.
the whole package. I think they're on the field. I think they got T-Boone Pickens money still. I think
RIP.
they're a top 20 program in the country.
Okay, fine. Continue what you're gonna say.
Why do you not like this?
Because we always disagree on the
Well,
definition.
yeah, I mean, you think
of,
Texas is a top 10 program, and they're not right now.
But as a program, they are off the field. Like we always disagree on the semantics of the word
Anyway,
program.
I mean, what's a better job?
What? Texas? Then Texas?
And then Texas, rank these jobs: Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma State.
yeah.
I'd probably go Texas, Oklahoma State, Tennessee.
Okay,
I see.
okay. I would.
Would agree.
Tennessee.
I
I would.
disagree with that.
Why? You'd put Tennessee on?
I'd put Tennessee
Me
over
too.
in the SEC. I would over
Well,
Oklahoma State.
You have the most delusional fans in the country. You're not going to win. You're going to get fired in
It's
4
a
years.
lose-lose.
Yeah. You're going to get fired in 3 years.
Oh no. I mean, Oklahoma State. You're in a conference right now that's thinking about joining
I'm
up
tell you
with
something
the
right-
American.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Oh, no.
If
Oh,
Oklahoma
no.
State
I told you
fires
the
Mike
beef would
Gundy
happen.
tomorrow,
I told
Yeah.
you.
If Oklahoma State fires Mike Gundy
Yeah.
tomorrow and they hang out a now hiring sign, I guarantee you they're getting better applicants than fucking Butch Jones, Derek Dooley, the last idiot, and this current
Jeremy
idiot.
Pruitt,
Yeah.
Josh Heupel.
Yes, that's the measure of a program. If when you put out now hiring and you get those fucking clowns in a row, your program isn't what you think it is. This isn't about Tennessee. It's about you guys are selling short Oklahoma State.
Pruitt was one of the best
Candidates at the time.
when he got hired.
Not really. He was out.
Josh Heupel, but I mean to support your point, Josh Heupel
I'm not
wasn't.
trying to downplay
No,
Oklahoma State.
I think Oklahoma State's a top 20 program.
That's fine. You are allowed to have that
Poll.
opinion. I
You want
do
right now?
Yes.
Is Oklahoma State a top 20
poll-
college football
poll.
program in the country?
But this happens every single time we start talking about programs. It's just the semantics of how we define program. Okay? Now continue your take.
I don't remember what my take was.
I'll tell you where you were.
But here's my
Oklahoma State to the Pac-12.
Right.
You were about to talk about Kansas
Here's my
State.
thing about Oklahoma State and Kansas State to
Mm-hmm.
the Pac-12, and it's also one of my opinions about this alliance, okay?
Okay.
Because when you have this alliance, you're going to have teams in California aligned, theoretically, with teams in North Carolina and Virginia and Florida, right? And if you're talking about bringing Oklahoma State and Kansas State into the Pac-12, you're going to have teams in Oklahoma and Kansas aligned with Cal, Oregon, Washington. Here's the thing about the world I live in right now. It is overly political. Politics ruin everything in the world. You put out an innocuous tweet, somehow it's going to be political in 5 minutes. It's going to be this side saying this side saying this, you're racist, you're this, and all you said was, I like toffee. That's all you said, and suddenly you're a racist, you're appropriating. Anyway, so in this world of college sports, I don't want it to be political, but when these alliances happen and when Oklahoma State and Kansas State join the Pac-12, I just see a world where we're going to be 2 years into these things, and the state of Oklahoma is going to pass a law. The legislature is going to pass a law that denies somebody something somewhere, or voters' rights, or this or that, and the Cals and the Stanfords and the Oregons are going to say, nuh-uh, we hate that, we're stupid, we're not going to do it, and we're not going to send our student athletes to your state to play. Politics ruin everything, and when you align North Carolina teams with California teams, you align Oklahoma teams with California teams, the political divide is going to ruin those alliances. Is that crazy?
I hadn't thought about that, but no, it's not crazy.
No,
'Cause
it's
politics
dead on
absolutely
perfect.
ruin everything.
There's a clip for this week, by the way.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh no, I think that the
We have multiple so far. It's been pretty good.
no, definitely the gentleman's.
Imagine how good the clips would be if we had something on the screen.
I
Katie's been
will
stressing
walk out of this room.
Katie's been stressing out so much over there. I
Just
can
don't worry about
like
it. It's
feel
fine.
her
It's
stress.
fine.
I'm not working. I'm just unplugging, plugging it in.
Is it something up there? Or like what?
I don't know.
You want to go get another cable?
No.
Okay. All right. You need a
Do you need a hug?
candy
No.
bar? No.
No, I just need
Birthday
A
cake?
nap?
I need this to work.
All right.
Okay.
I'm working on
Yeah,
it.
give her just pat her on the shoulder. It's okay. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Oh.
What can I say?
Did she, was that hissing at me or him?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired.
She just hissed like a cat at me.
I just want the computer to work.
All right. So that's I don't know. What do you think about Oklahoma State, Kansas State to the Pac-12? First of all, Kansas State absolutely hitching a ride on that one, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean that's.
I mean,
my bigger point is what happens to the rest of the teams. What happens to TCU? What happens to Baylor? What happens to Texas Tech? I would think Texas
They
Tech.
get fucked.
I would think Texas Tech to the Pac-12 seems. I mean, and obviously that just goes against what you just said politically. Oh no. What face do you have on right now?
Can I read some tweets to you?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I tweeted, Casey Smith is saying I've never said that I haven't seen The Blindside. I think I've been very public with that fact. Do you guys know this fact? And Miller Times says, you've led the charge in educating the general public that The Blindside is the biggest work of fiction to ever hit theaters. Tripp says, feel like I heard it on the podcast. Dalton Bird says, I definitely knew this, and I don't co-host a podcast with you. Carlos Garcia says, perhaps a top 5 Brandon Walker fact. Lou says, it's been said multiple times. Should I go on? You guys don't listen to me.
No one's giving facts though.
You guys don't listen to me.
Okay, if that's a fact, I want to hear it. You have definitely stated how much you hate it.
I've said I've never seen it, and I will never watch it.
No.
I'm literally responding to your tweet right now.
You've said it multiple times on this pod, Jeff Friend.
Give timestamps.
Jeb says, yes, you've seen it. You've said it numerous times.
But where?
All right. I just want y'all to know
Did
that
you see my tweet?
I don't know. I don't follow you on Twitter. Stop
I got
following you.
it.
I unfollowed you on Twitter just for this argument.
No, I know you popped up on your phone because it popped up on my
Yeah, it
phone.
did.
I gave no context, by the way, in my tweet. None.
Jack and Katie
Oh, no,
agree
this-
with me. We know how much he hates it. We want time steps when he said he hasn't seen it.
No. My original tweet.
Oh, no.
Oh, something about being a liar.
What?
I put no context with it whatsoever.
Breaking news, Brandon Walker's a liar. I bet people think you're actually mad. Some people will think, yeah. Yeah. Casey's had enough cowbell.
She broke. It got to her.
Start calling him Brandon Talker. All right.
Well,
I
at least
have the
you have a
church
quarterback.
giggles tonight.
Alright.
I have another date tonight. So
Jesus Christ, lady.
You have your Haynes King quarterback now.
I'm not sure how.
He looks like a 12-year-old.
How many dates can you have? Eventually, you got to start dating somebody, right?
None ya.
Thank
Okay.
you, Katie. Thank you.
Is this a first date, a second date?
No.
69th.
Damn, Katie, that was quick.
Yeah, Katie, you need that computer working.
It's not this low-hanging fruit.
It was low hanging fruit. But I do actually. I'm in a very good mood today.
I see. Good
Even
for
though your
you.
quarterback looks like a 12-year-old.
We're also recording earlier, so
I don't
you
think-
get to go to your date. I thought you were the biggest A&M fan on the podcast.
Yeah!
Yeah!
I thought you were the biggest A&M fan on the
People that are
podcast.
listening are like, what? The computer came back on.
But Haynes King got named Texas A&M starter today, and Jack did a tweet storm about it.
Jack, okay, I appreciate it though, because Jack also slanders A&M as much as he possibly can. You know how many tweets I got yesterday? Like, are you really gonna let Jack slander the stealing of the trophies in the case?
Funny.
It was. I mean, Katie texted me separately and was like, "Are you actually mad about the tweet?" I was like, "Well, no. I think it's very funny, but if Jack's gonna hate on A&M as much as he does, he should also have to love on them."
I don't know. This looks like
I think it's very funny. You guys didn't know what he looks like.
I didn't
though.
know what he looks like.
He looks very young.
he looks like Steve Buscemi fucked a Muppet.
Oh, that's mean. No, he does
Oh, yeah,
not.
I think he looks just like a normal.
He just
kid.
looks incredibly young.
He has a
Yeah.
small head.
Very small head. That's a narrow face.
Yeah.
Jack said before the podcast he's only ever seen him in a helmet. His helmet does look very big, but like
Get the
this just
dirt
looks
stash
like a
going.
young kid. Like,
Yeah,
I don't-
no, he's
like,
18.
It
He
looks
just
like-
graduated high school.
It looks like one of Jeff DeLo's celebrity mashups, and Ellen's in the middle.
that is so mean. It's not true. He's just a cute kid.
Katie, you're laughing.
He's just a cute kid.
No,
Cute.
he's cute, but he looks like he could be a varsity
It's like a
quarterback.
lizard.
The
He's
celebrity
he's a cute
He's a
mashup
dirt
Ellen
stash.
joke was funny. However, I'm looking in the camera, all in on Haynes King.
I am all
No,
in.
no,
I've been on a big Haynes King.
I know,
We've been
but
talking about Haynes
He
King.
took the lowest populated school in the 6A at Texas last year to a 16-0 or 15-0 state championship.
And
I
I-
think he's going to be good.
Oh, no,
Now,
very
don't get me
good.
wrong. I want to see him play. But if he's good, A&M's legit.
I
Can
know.
I-
'Cause
can I
their
please-
receivers are good. Their
Yeah.
running backs are
Like
great.
if
Can we-
it's all on him. That's the difference between 9-3 and 12-0.
I completely
Maybe,
agree
or
with you.
11-1.
And I'm not going to be the one to say the name because I always get shit on for saying the
Don't
name.
say it. Don't
Don't
say
say
it.
it.
Do not say it.
The last time A&M got somebody like this, it ended up being pretty good.
No.
A small town Texas quarterback playing as a freshman.
Well,
Just
I mean,
saying.
hold on now. I don't know where Kenny Hill was from. I don't know where you've had
Well,
a lot.
Kyler was from Texas,
you've had
but
a lot
he was
of
from the
quarterbacks.
biggest school.
I'm not talking about
You've had a
him.
lot of hyped ass quarterbacks.
I was sitting in my room on
the
Saturday.
one I'm talking about
Johnny. Yeah.
in
quite
my
literally won.
apartment,
Thank you for saying
and
that.
I thought to myself, wait a second.
He's a redshirt freshman, but oh no.
Texas A&M had Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it. I honestly, this is not an A&M podcast, okay?
It's-
I can't do it. I can't
It's
do
one
it.
of the most insane things.
I can't
I'm
do
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
And Kyle Allen too in the same year.
But
by
I
the way.
mean,
They
Kyler
lost-
Murray.
Kyler Murray.
He won
and
a
Kyler-
Heisman.
I can't talk about it.
I love. This is my favorite. One of my favorite things of the story, the year, not of the week. Excuse me. I'll
Well,
get
by
it
the way,
locked in. a minute.
before we move on, you know how you were saying that you think Jack's the biggest A&M fan on
Yeah.
the podcast? He was just saying that he was laying in his bed thinking about A&M.
Oh, I know. He's a huge A&M fan. I don't know. I
I
don't know
love
what's
it.
going
Katie's
on.
also an A&M fan.
I
so-
love. Okay, so
Driving back.
I love quarterback names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Haynes King, pretty good quarterback name.
Spencer Rattler.
Pretty good. Yeah. DJ Uiagalelei, great quarterback name.
JT Daniels.
Yeah.
Sam Howell.
I'm trying to think. Sam Howell not as good. Like I'm
I
trying
think
to
Trevor Lawrence was pretty good.
Yeah. But
Matt Leinart.
I think Arizona,
Oh,
and I know they're going to be terrible.
Terrible.
Awful. They might win 2 games. They might win 1 game. They're going with a 2-quarterback system. One of them is Will Plummer. Average quarterback name. Fine. Plummer's a good one because, Arizona ties and all that, although he played at Arizona State, Jake Plummer. But Gunnar Cruz is a name.
That is such a hot name.
That's such a hot name.
It's such a hot name.
That's like a soap opera actor or a male Instagram star.
Like when you hear the name Gunnar Cruz, you think of just like the hottest Hollywood actor, like James Dean.
Yeah. Gunnar Cruz is a hell of a name.
Gunnar Cruz equals James Dean in my head.
That's a badass name. Gunnar Cruz has to be your starting quarterback. He can't not be your starting quarterback.
He can't not be.
Sounds like BYU name.
Gunnar Cruz?
Yeah.
I think Will Plummer's more of a BYU name.
Yeah, I think so. I think Gunnar Cruz sounds like a USC name.
I'll tell you, BYU is starting the most non-BYU name I've ever seen at quarterback.
Yeah.
They're going with Jaron Hill. Jaron Wilson. What's his name?
Hill.
Hall.
Jaron Hall.
But Hall's in BYU's defense, he is married and has had a child. So I mean,
He's qualified to be BYU's
He's
quarterback.
qualified. He's qualified, and he's from Utah. So
How many marriages?
Just one.
Oh well, he'll give him time. So
We talked about that.
boy, oh boy.
I
A&M police, $4,000 worth of equipment stolen from the football complex.
all right.
I didn't say anything.
You should read Jack's tweet about
Jack's tweet is what people got pissed about.
Oh, let me read it. I haven't seen it. I'm going to just read it.
Okay.
Source: trophy case is still empty. Not because anything was stolen. It's just been empty for a long time.
I mean, that's such an unnecessary shot. Like,
That's a really good tweet.
it's a really good tweet.
Yeah.
But it was just really unnecessary, to be honest. I mean, we are unnecessary roughness.
Read the sign.
And I did see a couple people tweet like, you are on unnecessary roughness. But I mean, Jack, like, just simply could have ignored this. $4,000 worth of equipment being stolen is, I mean, nobody should steal, but that's like
it's like
2
two
helmets.
laptops.
Yeah, it's like 2 things. I mean, that obviously the football complex at A&M is insane. But like, why'd you have to do that? Well,
It just came to me.
You were just on one?
I'm fine.
The brilliance struck him.
I'm fine with Jack.
It just
I mean,
came
it
to
did
me.
numbers.
Numbies.
It did numbies, so
Ew.
fine.
Ew.
All right, let's move on. You said you had a take on this.
I do have a take on
So
this.
LSU will require all Tiger Stadium guests 12 years of age or older to provide proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test within 72 hours prior to entry into
Don't PCR tests aren't they the long taken ones?
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
the
but
ones that
they've
you
sped it up now.
24 hours.
All right. I remember when I had COVID, I accidentally scheduled a PCR test instead of a rapid test, and I went to the place, and I was like, I was dead. And
Yeah, you were a dead person.
And I was like, all right, I'm here for the test. And she said, well, this is a PCR test. And I said, okay. She said, you'll have the results in 5 to 7 days. I'm like, I'll either be dead or fine by then.
Right.
And I ended up going to get the rapid test, and they said,
The rapid test they gave it to
you
you
have
like,
super COVID.
yeah, in like 15 minutes.
By the way, I got the vax. Did you know that?
I'm happy for
Yeah,
you.
I finally got the vax. I was riding with the antibodies because I believed in antibodies. But then I said, you know what? I ain't fucking with this thing. So
Yeah.
I got half of it. I'm half vaxxed. Anyway,
Oh, that's
I don't
second-
care.
that-
By the way, if
by
you're
the way-
out there, I believe in the vax. I took it. I don't care what you do. That's up to you. I believe in human rights.
The second shot's going to put you on your ass.
Fine.
It made me feel
Well, when's he gonna do it?
Awful.
He has to work 30.
No. It's literally. I'll have to move it a little bit. It's scheduled the day before we go to Athens.
well, we're not. Oh, I see what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to move
The
it.
day before you're gonna have to move. Oh, but that's just because it's like 3 weeks after or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The day before.
I
we go.
literally got the Johnson
fine
Johnson
on
the
mine.
day before
Yeah.
it got taken off the market.
Oh, damn! But
So-
you're okay though.
That's why you grew that tail.
Yeah. Yes.
I did.
I
Pfizer.
literally can't have babies.
I did Pfizer, and the second shot felt worse than when I had COVID.
I got Moderna and I was fine for my second.
Oh, good. I got Moderna.
Yes.
Okay.
I got like a little lightheaded and you're fine.
Anyway, I don't want to bore
Yeah.
you with that talk. That's crap. LSU will require all Tiger Stadium guests 12 years of age or older to provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID PCR test taken within 72 hours prior to entry. Shortly after that, Georgia tweeted out, hey, no, you can come, whatever. No restrictions. We ain't doing that.
Within 3 hours.
Within 3 hours, just like, come on, get in here. We're not doing any negative test. We're not doing any proof of vaccination. And I believe a Tennessee legislator said we've had no discussions about that too. So LSU went ahead and did it. Here's my take about it. I think when this does affect, and it will affect their atmosphere. It will affect how many, they won't have 110,000 people there. They'll have, 80. They'll have 80,000 people. There will be people that absolutely don't want to get it and don't get it. It'll hurt their tailgating. It'll hurt their crowd. And it will hurt their overall atmosphere, which means it'll hurt their football. And I think they believe in what they're doing right now. Fine. But they'll do it one game, maybe two, and then they will quietly end it.
See,
They will go away from
I can
this.
see that happening, but
Because you don't fuck with their football.
Well, but see, that's the thing is I also think that you don't fuck with their football, and if there are fans, unless they are just staunchly against vaxes, they're going to get vaxxed so they can go to those games.
Yeah, there will. No, this will get a lot of people to get vaxxed.
Also, it's tested. You don't even have to get vaxxed. You can also just take a PCR.
I think that there are some people down in Louisiana right now that are just, they're like, hey, I don't want it, but if you take away my football, I'll fucking get it.
I don't know. If you want to get a vax, get it. If you don't.
I think that I'm actually surprised more schools haven't come out and said that they're going to do this because, like in New York right now, even to go into restaurants, like I've been having to show proof of vax. So I'm surprised that this. They've just now implemented that. But like going into Equinox starting next week, you have to show proof of vax or you can't come in.
What's Equinox?
A gym.
Oh, that's why I didn't know it.
Really, really fancy.
Excuse me. I don't. Me and you are different pay levels. So.
Like you would go to the gym?
Wow.
Hey, how has your personal training been going? Haven't seen
Shut up,
any
Katie.
photos.
How's?
Yeah, please finish that thought.
Yeah.
Don't sass me, Katie. Not in
We're
front
all
of God
sassy.
and everybody.
We're all on one.
All right, y'all want to get to it?
Yes.
The playoff four.
By the way,
Heisman?
this kind of, I don't know why, the way that Katie made this, like, it just kind of looks really fucking cool.
She literally just wrote it out.
I know, but I don't know why.
No. I think it's cool too.
It's also
like
about
it
a
looks.
border,
You know what
so-
it looks
Are we
like?
doing-
T-shirt.
It looks like a T-shirt. It
Are we
looks
doing
like.
playoff four first?
I don't. That's how she has
Yeah,
it in order.
feel free to go in different orders.
No, I
I
think we're
realize.
gonna have to go in the order Katie did it.
Okay.
But okay, so leave that up there. So I guess we will do our playoff four first. So we will go in order of heart and soulness.
Oh
Okay.
no.
So I will go first, obviously.
So humble.
Jack will go second.
Oh Jesus Christ. No offense, Jack.
Katie third.
No offense taken.
Who's the production people back there watching?
Stefan.
Stefan. He's an Iowa fan, so yeah.
Steven.
No, okay.
Steve.
You want to go first?
Colby's coming back.
What?
Cole, we got Cole.
Is he?
No.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
I won't go. That's my
the most
guy.
excited I've ever
No,
seen
yeah.
him before.
Yeah.
He may. Who know? I would love.
He's got
for
the
him to
Tony
come back.
Finau money now.
Yeah.
Is he just visiting?
No, he's
No,
not.
No, I was
Jack made
saying-
a joke.
lying.
He was
He's
a
lying.
joke.
Heart and
He was-
soul.
he was
He's a
making
piece of
joke.
This is
shit.
why
They
we're
were
heart
trying
and
to-
soul. You
They were
guys-
trying to get me. He was trying to put everybody else in
'cause,
front of me.
Yeah, and also we're men.
Yes,
so
men.
this is a football
This
podcast,
is-
not a sandwich making podcast.
That's gonna be clipped out
I hope
and
so.
put on the next hit piece.
All right, you can go first. Your playoff four. The four teams that will make the playoffs.
I'm gonna say this. I'd like to go last because I think you're gonna argue with me about it.
Well, I hope so.
So like, I want to go last so it can.
But we're the talent. We gotta go first.
Okay, you go first then.
I'll go first. You go second.
Okay.
And then the
I've already told Katie mine.
common people will go third and fourth.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm?
They're not common people, but okay, go ahead.
It's fun. It was
I
funny.
love Katie. What you doing?
I'm making my list.
Okay. All right. Did you steal that pen from me?
No.
I
good
just
thing.
changed my playoff like 5 times in the last minute. In
Here's
my
my
mind.
playoff
this
four.
is the problem is that I'm gonna end up changing my mind.
Yeah, there's
but-
two obvious ones for me, and I can't.
Here's my playoff four. The Clemson Tigers. They have one game that will test them this year. I feel like they're going to, whether they win that or not, they're cruising from then on out. They're going to win the ACC championship, and they're going to be there. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. They've got one of the best defenses in the country. They do have some offensive weapon issues, but I think they'll be fine. Clemson Tigers, number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And this is a team that I don't really believe in them that much. There's just not much there to stop them. If there was a second good Big Ten team or a second great Big Ten team, or if there was somebody there that could stop them, I would be like, I don't really like Ohio State because their secondary might not be great. They lost all their linebackers. Offensively, they got the best receivers in the country. I don't know how their quarterback's going to be, and their running backs will be pretty good. But this isn't a typically strong Ohio State team, but there's nobody in the Big Ten to check them. There's nobody there to stop them. So I got Ohio State. Clemson, Ohio State. The Oklahoma Sooners. This is the first time I believed in Oklahoma in a decade. I actually think they're real now. I think they've been quite fraudulent every other time they've gone to the playoff. I think their Heisman Trophy machine at quarterback has been a little bit of a farce, but they got one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the country. Their running back room is one of the 2 or 3 best running back rooms in the country. Their receiver room is one of the 2 or 3 best receiver rooms in the country. And for the first time, they actually have a top 15 defense. Nick Benito is fantastic at linebacker. They got some great pass rushers up front. They are experienced. They've got transfers to plug in where they need transfers to plug in. This is the most real Oklahoma team we've seen. And we'll get to that in a minute. My last playoff team, the Georgia Bulldogs. So I've got Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Ohio State. The Georgia Bulldogs, I believe in them more than I believe in this year's Alabama. Alabama has a more proven coach, a more proven program, has been here way, 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 way more. And if you're going on pedigree, you have to pick Alabama. So I'm going with this theory. Everybody believed Clemson was a choker until they weren't. They got close. We laughed at them. Clemsoning, laughed at them. They finally broke through, and then they're there. We've laughed at Georgia. Kirby Smart's gotten close. He had a lead in the SEC title game a couple of years ago. He ended up blowing it. He had a lead in the in the national title game. He ended up blowing it. But whatever happened before, this is his most complete team because he has a very good quarterback. JT Daniels, at the end of the season, will be a top 5 quarterback, and I believe the defense is nasty. He'll have enough weapons. He's got some injury issues at first, but once they get through Clemson, win or loss, that schedule eases up enough where the injuries aren't going to matter to them. And once they get those players healthy again, Tyke Smith, I believe, and then the tight end, Washington, they'll be fine. Georgia is my pick. They have the worst coach of this group, the worst big game coach of this group. I'm not impressed with his big game ability, but eventually they're too talented not to break through, and I'm picking it to happen this year. Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ohio State, that is mine. Casey Smith.
Big game Kirby Smart, huh?
You know,
it doesn't sound as good as Big Game Bob. But
I am certainly going out on a limb and picking a guy who has historically not come through on the big stage.
Yes, you are. But
But
that's okay. Did you get a lot of backlash for your Alabama take?
Just from
Alabama.
Just from Dylan from O'Reilly Auto
I
Parts.
knew that was coming. Okay, so I also have Clemson for all the reasons that you said. I think, I do think the ACC is going to be a little bit more competitive this year. Like, we know how I feel about Miami. We've talked about North Carolina. But I do think DJ Uiagalelei, we saw him play one time last year.
Twice.
Well, twice. But,
Yeah.
He did play twice.
Boston College and Notre Dame.
But Notre Dame, we saw on a big stage. He still had over 500 yards. I think they're going to be great. They're going to waltz through that conference again. I have Oklahoma for the same reasons that you do.
Mhm.
I actually agree with you on Oklahoma. Usually you and I butt heads on Oklahoma, so we don't need to go down that route. I then have the Alabama Crimson Tide
Okay.
because I think that, and I'm not, I agree with you on some of the takes that you have about them, but I also was like, it's Nick Saban to me. And like, when I look at Nick Saban versus Kirby Smart, I think that is all you really need to know. They always reload. They have all the talent in the world there. My fourth team, the Texas A&M Aggies. And here is where
I respect it.
Here is where I don't know which way I want to go with it. But what's going to happen is A&M and Alabama, they're going to play, obviously one of the biggest games of the year. Whoever loses that game will get into the playoff because whoever wins that game will win the SEC. So we'll see basically what happened with Ohio State in 2016, that they were able to get in even though they didn't play in the conference game because they only had the one bad loss.
Right.
I think
to the team who I assume at that point would probably be the number 1 team in the country.
Right.
If they won that game and won the SEC championship.
So that obviously leaves out the Big Ten, but I think that because the SEC is going to be stacked at the top, and we're going to get to that most disappointing team in a little bit, but I think that A&M and Alabama will both be in it because that game in College Station is going to be insane.
Okay, fair enough. Beautiful. All right, Jack, you can go next. Jack,
I have the same as yours.
same 4?
Georgia 1, Clemson 2, Ohio State 3, Oklahoma 4. I almost put A&M at 4, but I feel like we're going to have an issue right around week 10 or 11 where we have 6 teams that could really make it into the college football playoff, because I think A&M may end up going. Let's say we have a scenario where A&M goes 12-0 or 11-1, but beats Bama, and they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game, but Clemson, Ohio State, and OU are all 12-0, 11-1.
There is a definite feeling to me that this year is going to be one of those, like, it's not going to be super obvious who should be in the playoff. It's not. I mean, last year there was the argument with Notre Dame and A&M, but I mean, everybody knew what 4 teams belonged in the playoff. This year has this like aura around it. You mentioned it kind of feels like it could be 2007. That there's just going to be all these massive arguments that make sense on many different sides come playoff time.
Katie stats.
Yeah, I have like the same 5. I'm torn between Georgia and Alabama for the last spot, but Oklahoma, Ohio State, Clemson. Well, the last 2 is between Clemson, Alabama, and Georgia. So
What do you have to pick?
You have to pick.
Georgia, you're kicked out. It's going to be Oklahoma, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama.
So the girls have the same and the
No.
boys have the same.
No.
Oh, you have A&M.
I
That's
have
right.
A&M,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add on the fly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on the fly.
Oh no.
Because the reason is all of our 4 are way too similar, and there's a reason because
right.
it's top heavy. We see these teams.
You have to be chalk here.
Right.
Like you have to.
All right. Wild card team, a team that's not in that top 6 that could crash this party, whether it's Oregon or Indiana or Cincinnati or.
Iowa
by the way,
State.
you said the other day Cincinnati's going 12-0.
Can I please say something?
Yeah.
That was on a whim.
Okay.
But then you said it on Twitter too.
I know. That was on a
okay.
whim. I mean, I'm gonna stand by it now. But
Right.
I did.
All
It
right.
was one of those trigger tweets that I realized once I sent it that like now I'm just gonna get old takes exposed. If it happens, boy, am I gonna be annoying about it. But
Fuck old takes exposed. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah, no,
he's
he's-
got a file on me.
I did say that. I had a few adult beverages.
Wild card teams.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Because I think that if they win the Big 12, beat Oklahoma, that they would be the Big 12 representative.
I guess I'll go next. The Washington Huskies.
Really?
I was on this before you were.
Okay,
You-
whatever.
you-
No, it's fine. We
You're
think
gonna do
alike.
the same wild card too?
No, I just changed my wild card.
All right. I don't know.
changed my wild card.
Fine. I'm not hollering at you. They got a showpiece game in week 2 at
Yep.
Michigan, right? They have every other tough game in the Pac-12
Yep.
at home. They
We're
got.
gonna have the same disappointing teams too. Now I have to change my disappointing
No,
team.
we don't.
Because you're the alpha, and I'm the little beta that has to just.
Nobody
I
said you're the
told you to beef
beta.
with him.
Nobody-
Sorry.
Hey,
Beef.
Beef.
No,
Beef.
no.
Beef.
Can we just like?
Hey, Jack. Nobody said.
Rough and
you're the beta.
rowdy.
No one's.
R&R.
What? No.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking
buy
of, that's
R&R.com.
coming out.
Comment
Buy
section now.
Buy R&R.com.
R&R.
All right. So I got Washington. Jack, who's your wild card team?
It's weird because I've talked poorly about this quarterback. But I think Wisconsin could be really, really good this year. And I think
Ooh, I like that
and I
one.
think let's just say there's a world where CJ Stroud isn't. I think he's going to be good. But for a wild card sake,
Yeah.
that's not Washington. I think Wisconsin. And looking at their schedule, I mean, their hardest game is probably Notre Dame.
Iowa at home, Notre Dame. Yeah.
And then they have Penn State week 1. So we'll know a lot about them
Yeah.
week
They
1.
host Penn State at home. They host,
And then they play Notre Dame at Lambeau?
I know at Soldier Field.
Soldier Field. So, I mean, I think Wisconsin's my sleeper team.
Like it.
And you, Katie. Boy, you have a pain look on
Katie
say it,
hates
say it,
giving
say
sleeper
it.
teams because every team's not
Katie,
good to her.
Katie, say it.
I don't
Do
love it, but
Do it.
Oregon.
Nah,
This was your chance.
I've seen the arguments for UNC.
you should.
Yeah, you can be a homer
Do
on
it.
that.
Do
Run
it.
with your
No,
squad.
I know, because I'm like, I don't have. If FSU and Virginia didn't happen last year, I would be a lot more high.
Let me tell you something about last year.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a COVID year.
You know
shit
when it exists?
happened.
You know when it is?
last year.
Last year.
Well, we did have to sit with her watching
Man.
them lose
Eating
to Florida
styrofoam.
State.
Word.
She was getting shithouse drunk.
What's
too.
She ate
the
styrofoam.
You would have if your team lost to Florida State.
what Florida State's not that bad of a team.
Last
School.
year they were like 2-5, 2-7,
What's the spread on Virginia Tech UNC?
6.5.
5.5, 6.5.
Oh
yeah,
my
something.
God, everyone's going to be on Virginia Tech.
You think?
The money
Yeah.
in public is like 65-35 on UNC.
You gonna start going across the river to Hoboken and
Well, yeah.
I kind of want to fade my team the entire year.
Oh God.
jeez.
Jeez,
That
why
sounds
are you
awful.
so? Come on.
Heisman Trophy winner.
I've been
Okay.
stormed.
The Heisman Trophy winner, that's given annually to the best player at Alabama. This year,
No,
it's,
Oklahoma.
no, it's Oklahoma. so
Oklahoma
I'm
or
gonna, I'm
Alabama.
gonna go ahead and go first. Spencer Rattler.
Okay, there we go.
And here's the thing: is that I don't know if you agree with me or not, but you've always talked about how they're the Heisman machine. Obviously, we've seen it in the past. Jalen Hurts was in New York. He didn't win it. But if you think Oklahoma is going to be as good as you think they're going to be, and you have the Heisman machine, and you have all the numbers, Spencer Rattler has to be your Heisman pick.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
You know why?
Because
I think for the first time, defense will carry their share of the weight for Oklahoma. And I think the defenses in the Big 12 are sneaky pretty decent this year. Iowa State's got a good defense.
Remember last week when
Oklahoma State has a good defense?
we said Spencer Rattler's better than Sam Howell, and Brandon almost took my head off.
Correct?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
there's
But he's
also-
still
that's a
gonna put up
storyline for this podcast this year.
Yeah, Spencer
Sam
Rattler.
Howell is by far
You
he's
two,
better than
Sam-
Sam.
yeah,
it's-
we're
it's
going-
around.
I mean, you don't think he's going to put
Somebody
up crazy
sent-
numbers?
Somebody sent a
I don't
great.
think he'll put up
You know
good
how many
numbers,
touchdowns he had dropped last year in the end zone?
This is such a- this
pish
is-
posh. You sent
10.
an Oklahoma homer sent you this. Okay, whatever.
10.
How many
Okay,
interceptions
so-
did he have caught?
Do you have Spencer Rattler too, Jack?
You can say
You
it.
can say it.
It's okay.
I mean,
I don't
Jack,
know.
No.
what's happening?
DJ Uiagalelei.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have Spencer.
Okay, Katie has
So
Spencer.
Okay, was everybody jump in front of
But
me?
not because I think. Oh,
I
well,
I
I'll
know what's
explain
about to
later.
happen. You're going to go on some soapbox, so I want to get their
I'm not
picks out of
getting
the
on
way.
a soapbox.
Yes, you are. Go ahead. Unless you have DJ Uiagalelei.
I don't.
Okay, then who is it?
It's gonna be.
Who do you think it
See,
is?
can you see the look in his eye? You know he wants to go on some soapbox.
It's
This
not
is not
gonna
a
be-
soapbox.
I like.
Oh,
want to
I
say
think
Matt
I know what you're
Corral.
going to say. Yeah.
I have James Tiberius Daniels, JT Daniels, Georgia. For the first time, Georgia's going to march into this playoff. Georgia is going to be a very good team all year. Their defense is great. Their weapons are good enough. But for the first time, Kirby Smart has an actual good quarterback. This isn't just Jake Fromm, surprisingly good as a freshman that turned out to be a mirage. This isn't Justin Fields in there for 5 seconds at a time. This is JT Daniels, who, by the way, the year he started at USC, he was 17 years old. He should have been a senior in high school. Now he's seasoned. He's in the SEC. He got the speed down last year. He got his feet wet. And JT Daniels is going to put up huge numbers for a Georgia team that's going to the playoff, and they will have the Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
I think that's a
I don't hate
better.
that take.
That's a good bet. I feel like Rattler's safer, but I think the floor for Georgia is too thin right now. They've some injuries and they've lost some receivers.
You just
But I
really
think-
like you just really
I
like
just-
Georgia this year.
I think
Can I say
JT
something?
is.
We are totally overreacting on Georgia's injuries. Totally overreacting on Georgia. They lost a tight end and a defensive back in the last couple of weeks. George Pickens was already out.
Yes.
But they've still got 4 and 5-star receivers all over that building.
I know. I'm talking
But
experience.
that's my whole thing with Alabama is that it's like they lost a lot, but they still have 4 and 5 stars all over that building with Nick Saban.
They do, but nobody's sitting here saying Alabama's offense isn't going to be good. She
You
just
did.
said.
Well, no, but you're saying that you think that Georgia's going to be able to beat Alabama
I do.
because Alabama lost so much.
I do.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's where
I'm just saying we're overreacting on Georgia's injuries.
And I think okay.
I think that JT's a better player. Rattler's a safer pick.
If losing a tight end for 4 weeks derails your season, then
I
they
think-
were a fraud to begin with.
I think Gilbert's gone.
Fuck
doesn't stink.
Gilbert.
He doesn't
Eric
count.
Gilbert will never play a meaningful
Yeah.
snap of college football.
Yes.
He's gone.
Yeah.
So he
He
doesn't
did
matter to
play
me at all.
last year. He played meaningful snaps.
Okay. He'll
Against you
never
guys.
again play meaningful
Yeah,
snaps.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
He was a flake in high school. He's a flake now. Whatever. I hope
This
he gets
happens.
all the help.
It
he-
happens.
Yeah,
It happens.
Um,
There's always top 10. We were talking about Deshaun Hand, who actually figured it out, but he
Yeah.
was. Oh my God! I thought you just hated Deshaun Hand.
No, I just choked a little.
Jack, I think we could both agree that this podcast, while a good family, it's filled with dysfunction.
Yeah, no, all the time.
It's just dysfunction. We get along sometimes, then we don't get along, and things are going crazy and all that. But ultimately, I can live with that kind of dysfunction in my life.
You know what I do not like being dysfunctional.
Your penis.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting.
You
at.
want your penis to function at all times.
all times, especially when I'm with a woman.
A lady. Yeah.
My preference is females, but
whatever you're doing out
Yes.
there. But when you lay down with somebody, or when you're ready to what's that city you like to go to? Pound Town. Whenever
Town.
you go, you and your penis take
Fucktown.
a road trip to Fucktown. You're like, hey, you gotta work. Well, guess what?
You better work.
You better
bitch.
work. How
You
many
better
times?
work,
how many
bitch.
times do you yell at your dick?
All the
I
time.
yell at my dick all the time.
All the time.
My dick is
Because I'm never yelling at the girl. Because I respect them women.
like there could be abuse charges against my penis. I mean, I yell at it, I beat it, whatever. Anyway,
Not me, but that's you. That's a you thing.
now that the world's opening back up, so many new thrills are on the horizon. Jack, you're gonna get so much pussy.
And I'm going to get so hard. I'm going to get crazy hard.
And whether you've been in a relationship for years like me, B won't be fucking, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know that.
B won't be fucking.
I know when you fuck.
Or you're just getting started. Or you're excited to get back out there and meet new people. When the moment comes, you want to be ready. Roman ready.
Roman ready. RR. R squared.
Go to GetRoman.com/Barstool now to talk to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. With Roman, you can get a free online.
Wait, I don't even have to go to the doctors?
No, you go
Thank
online and get
God.
that dick checked out.
I'd rather tell you about when I'm fucking, not the doctors.
Yeah, Jack, I mean, listen, I could just check your penis out for you.
Yeah.
But you can go online
I'm
and do it.
saying no.
You can go online and do it. Being Roman ready equals confidence. The confidence you know you can rise to the occasion in the
Literally.
moment. You can get free online evaluation, ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. And that's the only place I want to discuss erectile dysfunction, the privacy of my
I
home.
did say the last time we were talking
Apparently on
about
this podcast.
Because the other day when we were walking down the hall and you were like, Brandon, my erectile dysfunction is a problem. I was like, no, let's go to the privacy of my
it's
home.
that time of
So-
the month when it.
So
like,
we got in
yeah.
a car, went to my house, and then we talked about your dick.
Yes, no, that was crazy. And then no, it was crazy.
We are looking at the Summer of Love 2021, and Roman wants to make sure you can participate in your way, whether it's a single person or a couple that would still rather be staying with each other. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. You fix that dick in a hurry.
In
boy.
a hurry.
In a hurry. The whole process is straightforward, convenient, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com. Well, first of all, your dick has to stop working. And then go to GetRoman.com/Barstool and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com.
And one last thing, Brandon. It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
down there.
Be a nice penis. That's
Yeah.
what I always say. Go to GetRoman.com. Casey, get to work on the hoodies. Go to GetRoman.com/Barstool today, and if you're prescribed, get 50% off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this summer. Not just ready, Roman ready.
Sorry, Mom. National champ?
The national champ.
Boy, this one's hard for me because I really am trying not to be a homer.
Go ahead.
But I have to do it.
You're doing it?
I'm doing it. Texas A&M.
Let's go.
Texas
That would be
A&M.
huge
See,
for
that's
us.
how you do it,
Huge
Katie.
for us.
No, it would be massive.
It would be massive. And here's the thing:
Unrealistic.
it's not
It's not unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic, and
At
that's
all.
the thing.
They
It's
are
like
number 6.
it's
And I think their upside is so simple.
Their
And I
defense is
tweeted it out.
nasty.
If we know what, Audible.
Hey, hold on.
Who's
hold
your
on.
wild card
Time-
Heisman
time-
pick?
Wait, no,
time
hold
out,
on.
Time
No,
out.
hold on.
We are talking all over hers.
yeah.
This is her. Texas A&M and me.
And
you
I
start
hope,
talking.
and you know what? And I
No,
hope that
no,
I
sorry,
hope.
you're
And
But
I
seriously,
hope,
seriously,
no,
who
no,
is
and
your
I hope the fucking guy who
Yeah,
tweeted
no,
at
no,
me
no, no,
about
no.
interrupting you does the same thing.
Okay, no.
Floor is yours.
Me and
No,
Jack have stopped. Go-
Listen,
keep
okay,
going.
listen. In years past.
So anyway, speaking of the wild card,
Wild card Heisman.
wild card Heisman. It could be anybody.
Haynes
Haynes
King. I
King.
tweeted it out.
I love
Haynes
it.
King.
It'd be
Love
I
it.
think Haynes King has the highest ups. If you're looking for a flyer on a 75 to 100 to 1,
What is?
Yeah.
What are his odds on the
it
Barstool?
wasn't on
Sportsbook?
Barstool
Wasn't.
Sportsbook.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
we
no,
interrupted you.
no. It's. I know.
So,
every
Katie, this
year-
is what you should have
I
done.
can't handle you right now. I cannot fucking handle
All right,
you.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
back away from the
Yeah, get away from me. Okay, I'm not gonna go on a whole soapbox, but everyone that's listening to this is gonna be like, "Oh, of course you picked A&M. It's a homer thing."
What's with you in soapboxes today?
I don't know. I just keep saying that word. This is the year that it's actually the most realistic. There are people that have no affiliation to A&M whatsoever that are also saying the same thing. Now, it's not like a resounding, "Oh my God, A&M is the lock for this," but I do think what we saw last year, now you get, and again, like I think Haynes King is going to be just as good as Jack does. I think it's all coming together. You've got Jimbo Fisher there, and if I
National
don't
championship winning coach.
yeah, he's a national championship winning coach at Florida State.
Yeah.
At Texas A&M in
No,
2021.
Yeah.
But I think if I didn't pick A&M this year, that I would be a bad fan because normally I'm so down on them, and they actually
Talking
have
about bad fans.
but they
look
have
to
a
your
real
left.
real shot to be the national champions this year.
100%.
Brandon, you may talk now. That's my pick, and I'm going with
What are
it.
some before we continue with national champ, what are some other wild card Heisman picks?
Just shut up.
Okay. Sorry.
CJ and Bryce.
We
I don't think
CJ's not.
And I don't think Bryce is a wild card.
Wild card for
Bryce Young is like the second favorite.
God, he's third. That's embarrassing. CJ Stroud's fourth.
Yeah. That was brutal, Katie Stats.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying that's just embarrassing for college football that those guys are.
Yeah, that's more where I was going.
I'm looking through the list.
We did this a few weeks ago, I remember.
Did we? And looked all the way down?
Yes.
Why don't you just fucking double down and say Isaiah Spiller or Haynes King?
I said Haynes King with him.
Should I say that UNC is going to be the wild card for the playoff?
And it's too late.
Yeah, you
too late. No,
too
too late.
I still don't. I'm not getting that in my head because once I get it in my head,
It's too late.
it's page 6 previews has it and it got in my head. I need to.
Did I tell you guys about some A&M outlet like going after me like crazy on Twitter because they were mad that I got upset that A&M lost to Alabama last year?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Who does? It's probably someone that has 3,000 followers and is trying to like use you.
They were just like destroying me, and I DM'd them and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, and then they immediately apologized, but I was like, What's your issue here? Like, you're allowed. Whatever. That's beside the point.
Oh well. Also, it came out yesterday. I mean, it would be a lot, but Carson Hurd who is going to be the starting quarterback for Texas. Casey Thompson hype. He's the guy. He's 40-1 right now. He's not even going to play.
Can I admit something?
Yeah.
The Matthew McConaughey hype video for Texas was awesome.
Missouri.
Oh my God!
Can
I didn't like it because I didn't want anybody
Guess
to
who's
see that I liked it.
100-1?
Who?
Harrison Bailey.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can we?
Missouri fans are yelling into their
What are we
mics
doing?
right now.
I don't know.
Connor Bazelak. Say him.
I just don't see. Maybe Penix at plus 5,000, but I don't believe in Indiana.
I don't remember who I said a few weeks ago, but I stand by whoever I said
Whatever.
a
We
few
don't have
weeks
to do
ago.
a
Yeah.
wild card.
Okay.
All right. So
I've already said my national champion.
okay, I'll say mine.
Okay. Oh, it hurts. Oh no. He's gonna throw up. Are you about to say
Why is he
Georgia?
Gagging. No, he wouldn't.
In the national championship game, the Georgia Bulldogs
versus.
will lose to the Oklahoma Sooners.
Well, why does that make you sick?
I don't like Oklahoma either. I've never been one to believe in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but I would think that Georgia would make you more.
I don't know.
Whatever noise and face you're making right now.
I just actually believe in Oklahoma, and they're plus 800 to win on the Barstool Sportsbook app. I just really think this is the best team in the country.
I agree. They're my
Dorian
top two.
Thompson Robinson, 150-1
I
would
mean,
be a great
Jack,
one.
I can't.
There
I
are
mean,
people.
I can't.
There,
can't.
you can look at Oklahoma on the surface and still believe the same that I've always believed, and I always felt that was right. But if you look deeper, I mean, they added Eric Gray from Tennessee, a fantastic running back. They added Wanya Robinson or Wanya.
Wandale.
No,
No,
that's in Kentucky.
different.
Wanya Morris, I think, 5-star tackle or guard from Tennessee. Like, they took several transfers that can just fill in and exactly where they need them to. They're going to be really good across the board. This isn't just an offensive heavy team that's going to feast on bad defense in the Big 12. This is a good football team. I got Oklahoma to win the national title.
Where also most other ones are, there's some kind of hole or question mark. I don't really.
Right, like Alabama, you have to just trust that it's Alabama, because on paper there's holes you can talk about. Ohio State, there's holes you can talk about. Clemson, same thing. I don't see a hole on Oklahoma.
It really stinks.
What?
I just have the same one.
No, that doesn't stink.
3 of us do.
Well, me and you.
You guys all three have Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Damn.
Damn
No,
it.
I don't think that stinks. I think that's these like
It's
I
gonna
hate
look bad.
when people are like, "Oh, it's like chalk." It's like no, but that's
Hey,
Okay,
we're
you know what, you know what,
really
you know what?
doubting Alabama.
Are you going to be doing a graphic for this? Because I don't want it to all look the same. Don't do a graphic for national
Don't do
champ.
it. Don't
Yeah, no.
do
So that
it.
looked all the same.
I was gonna do Final Four.
Yeah,
When
with the
the
wild card
circle
teams.
each.
Okay.
We'll
Fine.
talk about it later.
yeah.
Let's talk
okay.
about it later.
Okay. Biggest surprise team.
I'm going to cheat on both those because I have two.
Okay.
But I guess you're just going first on you use the heart.
I'm
and
just
soul
trying to get this
podcast now?
shit moving.
What time? We're doing this early. You don't
Yeah,
have
we've
a date
only
this
been
early?
we've only been doing this for an hour and 12. Like that's like we.
It's 4:51. We don't usually don't
That's
start
it.
till 5.
Yeah, we're usually at this point yelling at each other, and
Right.
you're like, "Are
no,
you ready?"
Me and
then
you
I
usually
say,
sit in the
"Yeah."
radio room while they just dick
And
around.
then we
Fuck
say,
you.
"You guys ask if we're ready," and then we say
That's-
yes,
that's
and then
fair.
we're not
It
ready.
just,
Okay, all right.
okay.
It's okay, sweetie.
It's okay.
Give me your most biggest surprise team of the year.
I don't know if this is a fair one because they are ranked high, but you made fun of me last week. But I think Miami. I think people are
I don't
doubting
think you
Miami.
understand what surprise means. They're 14th in the country.
I know, but I think that I think that the game against Alabama, I think that it will be surprising to people. I think Alabama's going to win that game, but I think that we're downplaying Derek King because of his injury in the bowl game. I think that every time I bring up Miami, if you're not I had Florida State fans like chirping at me like, Miami, they fucking suck. I'm like, excuse me, look in a mirror. But I think that Miami will be they are ranked 14th, and that's why I said it's kind of a cheating pick. But I think that they are going to be the second best team in the ACC. They're going to only lose to Alabama and to Clemson. And that's it.
Excuse me.
I think that they're going to beat North Carolina.
Oh,
I don't play Clemson, do they?
I mean,
In the
eventually.
title
they
game?
might,
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my surprise teams, I couldn't decide. I have two, one in the SEC, one in the ACC.
Can I pick your SEC one?
Yeah.
Kentucky.
It's the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yep.
I think there's a
Good call,
gap
Katie.
between Georgia and the rest of the East, and Florida's going to fall down a little bit, allowing Kentucky to kind of move up. They're physical, they're strong, they have great running backs. I think if they get a productive quarterback at all, because they haven't had in a couple of years, they can be really good. I think 10-2, 9-3 pretty easily. I think you look up at the end of October, they're going to win their first 3 or 4 games, I believe, and then they got back-to-back at home, Florida and LSU, and they can win both of those games. And then you look up, and all of a sudden they're 6-0, heading to Georgia. They get killed there, but I think they're a 10-2 team perhaps. And I think the same. I'm going to sneeze again. Just vamp for a second.
Okay. Don't sneeze too loud. Don't hurt yourself. Don't throw your
Oh
back
my
out.
God. Do you know their
Bless you.
opening versus ULM, which went over last year, and it's about 29.5 point spread, which seems
Also,
low.
my second surprise team
Mm-hmm.
is in the ACC. At the end of October, you're going to look up,
NC State.
and you're going to see Wake Forest at 6-1
What?
or 7-0.
Where the hell did that come
What?
from?
I have
You
looked at this
buddy.
thing. I have looked at this. Sam Hartman, not a bad quarterback,
They
a very
have
good
the
quarterback.
Jakai Robinson.
Sam Wake Forest, better program than you
No,
think.
that's fine. I've just never heard you talk about Wake Forest.
Wake
like
Forest, better program than you think. They've had, they've been to a lot of bowls recently, and their defense, I think they bring back maybe 10 or 11 starters. Sam Hartman's pretty good, and that schedule, man, they ease into this season. Their first 7 games are all winnable. I think Florida State might be the toughest game they have in their first 7. I think they play at Virginia, which they could lose at and be 6-1. Their toughest games are at the very end, but they can be 7-0, 8-0, 7-1 in going into November. When they play, then they play Boston College. I think they play North Carolina. I think they play Clemson. The dream will end, but they'll still have a good year by their standards. I think Wake Forest could start 8-0 or 7-1. And I think they're going to be a huge surprise. And I know, that's why. See, you're shocked right now, right? That's a good surprise team.
Yeah.
Jack, go ahead and
think
tell,
it's a little
say Kentucky and
wrong.
Wake Forest because you've had all the same ones.
I really disagree on Kentucky. I don't think they'll be good.
Okay.
However, not bad, but 10-2 easy. I mean, I have to revisit
I
their
guess
schedule.
not easy.
Yeah. However, like you said, their division is down. My surprise team, I brought them up before. I don't know, if this qualifies, but I think it does. I think Oklahoma State can be really good.
Yeah, you said that last week.
And then I also think we should not forget about Virginia Tech. We've brought it up last week as well. Virginia Tech's another team but just looking at their schedule, they
Katie's
do
so
have a
mad.
tough
Can we not
schedule.
talk about
I
Virginia
mean, they
Tech
started in
until
North
week
Carolina.
2?
They start with North Carolina, then they have a West Virginia, and they have Notre Dame in that ACC Notre Dame agreement thing. So, but those are two teams that I think could surprise.
I like those.
Okay.
Katie?
Katie?
I hate Virginia Tech talk. I agree with
Katie's just
Kentucky.
mad right now.
My team scares me. But I'm gonna
Fair.
put
That's a fair
TCU
thing.
on there.
Yeah.
Um,
You're high on TCU.
Just interested to see what they're gonna do. I think they have an opportunity to compete at least with Iowa State.
I think I had TCU in one of my 3.
You did.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
did.
They are up a lot this year. I'm excited, but I also think that Iowa State and Oklahoma are. But I don't know.
I think there's a lot of quarterbacks in the country. We get concentrated on Spencer Rattler and DJ and all this. There's a lot of quarterbacks who have a lot of experience, or still pretty young. Sam Hartman at Wake Forest this is his at least 3rd year in the program. You know, he battled back and forth with Jamie Newman, and then last year he had the job for himself. And then Max Duggan or Dugan, I can never remember.
I think it's
Somebody
Duggan.
find that out.
I think
for
it's
me.
Duggan.
TCU, he's a good quarterback, and I feel like there's a lot of sneaky good quarterbacks out there.
Also, Big 12 is kind of like ACC, where they have that bottom, which is like the Syracuse Duke with Kansas.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, but I'm looking at West Virginia as well. That could be a decent team.
How many do you get?
I was looking at Virginia Tech's schedule, and you're right. I had a lot.
Okay.
Biggest disappointment?
Jack taking all those teams.
He can talk if he wants.
Can he?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I get to go first now?
You can go first.
Wow, look at that.
Because you're gonna mock my pick.
All right.
No, he's actually not.
He's
this
not?
one.
Oh.
No, he's taking my pick.
Oh.
I have 2 again. And I will say,
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, yours is easy. Notre Dame.
Bitch!
I mean, that's true.
Mine is Notre Dame.
No, I'm saying yours is easy. Notre Dame. Mine's not Notre Dame.
I haven't given out Notre Dame, and I've never given you any inkling that it should be Notre Dame. Ever have I done that?
She just said that you stole hers.
It was going to be a big build-up. I was like, last year I was on this team. I thought they'd win the national
deflated
championship.
it.
I was so
deflated
big. You deflated the shit out of it.
No,
You're
well,
like Tom
that's-
Brady over here.
That's what- Don't you slander my man's. Katie gave it away. She said he took mine.
No,
I
but
know
you
how much
said
he
it out
hates
loud.
Well,
All right.
No, she said it first.
She didn't say Notre Dame.
No.
She said he took my pick.
Yeah.
And we all know how she feels about Notre Dame.
All right, my disappointing team, my biggest one is Notre Dame. I've looked more and more at this team. I believed in them at first. I
You
believed in them
drank
all
my
last year.
Kool-Aid.
I think you can all say that I was Mr. Notre Dame last year, right?
Yeah.
I was on them from the beginning.
Let's not forget, you called the upset.
I did.
He did.
I called
but
it.
there
Well, he
was
didn't
an
know that
asterisk next
Trevor
to it
would be
because Trevor
out.
Lawrence didn't play.
They still won.
Mm.
Also, we knew Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to play. You still picked Clemson.
Asterisk.
I can't ever say that word right. But
I
yeah.
can't say it either. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Anyway, so last year I was big on
Imagine
them.
me trying to say that word.
This year, we got 3 returning starters on offense, and this is an offense that wasn't explosive to begin with. We have 6 returning starters on defense. Kyle Hamilton, the safety, is a freak.
I
But
can't believe Alabama didn't cover against Notre Dame in
Correct,
the playoff
yes.
game last year.
But you're talking about 3 returning starters. You're talking about Jack Cohn from Wisconsin, who is not sexy at all. It's very boring quarterback.
It's so boring.
There's nothing exciting about that offense. They're going to have to win with defense, and they only got 6 defensive starters back. They'll be good, but I don't know if they'll be as good as they were last year. Plus, the schedule ramps up a lot. I want to talk about Notre Dame, okay? Because I think they're going to be disappointing for one reason. The schedule in October, and I wrote it down earlier, so I got to go back to it. Here's a run in late September and ending in the end of October. They play Wisconsin on neutral site, Cincinnati at home, at Virginia Tech with a coach coaching for his life, USC, and North Carolina. There's 3 top 10 teams at Virginia Tech and USC in a 5-week stretch. That is brutal.
Tough.
That is going to be brutal. And the rest of their games aren't easy. Like, even their easy games this year aren't prototypical easy games. Like, they got Georgia Tech. They got Virginia. Like, these aren't just easy. These aren't
No,
pushovers.
definitely
So
not.
I don't know. I think Notre Dame. And then, of course, my second one is, I don't want to take it, but Indiana. Indiana's just a fraud. They're a farce. So
Okay, fair.
All right.
So this is where I have to put a caveat because we talked about it with Alabama.
what are you about to do?
I'm about to say that I think that the biggest disappointment is Ohio State because they don't make the playoff.
Okay.
And we talked about it last week with and their threshold right now is playoff or bust. I mean, they are the best team in the Big Ten. I don't think C.J. Stroud is going to be as good as people are. I think that there's going to be quarterback controversy. The only reason I'm saying they're going to be the most disappointing is because I think they have the highest ceiling of the teams that are not going to make the playoff, in my opinion, and they're not going to make it, which is disappointing. Katie?
I'm just disappointed in the Roughnecks, really. Y'all
Why?
don't know. 59% say no, Oklahoma State's not a top 20 football program. Year in, year out. You can count on them being around top 20 program. I'm sorry. They just are. Go ahead, Katie.
I agree with Notre Dame, but to add some more, I think you could argue for, I know it's going to hypocritical, but I think like Oregon, Wisconsin, and Georgia.
Georgia's a good candidate because
Yes,
we're
a
putting so much
very-
pressure on them.
Yeah, I think
They could
Right, that's the thing. Is like disappointing. Like it depends. Like if you're talking about Indiana just like being a bust, or if you're talking about a team that is being talked about winning the national title or
Yeah.
being in the playoff and not making it.
yeah, unfortunately, I think you could also put A&M in there just because
Ugh,
because
sad.
of the
I agree.
expectation.
No, I agree.
Like everyone's
you-
hyping them up. I think Oregon, people are counting them to represent the Pac-12.
again?
I'm always ready to get hurt.
That's why you got a date tonight.
That's true.
Oh no.
Nanya.
Coach of
What?
the year.
Were you trying to insult me?
I have not given my
Nanya.
disappointing team.
I'm just going to say Nanya. Go ahead.
It's Oregon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Just 9-3, 8-4.
All right. So
They won't be bad, but we'll look up and be like, oh, I thought they could have been the Pac-12's team.
Mhm.
They
Fair.
may have a bunch of close losses, though.
Coach of the year? You want me to go first since you haven't written yours down?
Correct.
Okay. I am going to go with a very chalk pick. I'm going with Lincoln Riley.
Oh, damn it.
Because I think that OU is going to be very good this year. They're going to make the playoff. They're not. I don't know when they announce Coach of the Year. I'm assuming it's before bowl season, but I think that he will be an easy pick for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I have Lincoln Riley written down too.
I mean, every time the Cowboys job like even talks about coming open, it's like, well, they're going to go get Lincoln Riley. Like that's how much
That's
people.
bullshit.
I bet people love Lincoln Riley,
Yeah, I don't know.
except they don't like the way he makes his brisket. But I think Lincoln Riley. Katie has Lincoln Riley. Jack, who do you have?
Jeez, this is tough, but I'm just going to go with my gut, Jimbo Fisher. Because I could even
Jack
see him.
loves A&M.
I could even see him being in a situation where he doesn't make the playoff, but went 12-1.
Right. No,
or
it's not.
11 and
Jamie Chadwell won it last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't close.
my thing with I
Yeah.
didn't want to.
I
mean,
guess
Jimbo
Luke
Fisher.
Fickle wouldn't be the worst pick ever.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher came across my mind like as well, but I didn't want to be completely homer. But I mean, it's not a bad pick at all because if A&M proves that they
Yours
belong,
should be easy.
yeah, yours should be really easy.
Why?
Yours should be Chip Kelly. He's coach
Yeah.
of the year.
No.
He goes at 10-2.
I actually am gonna go with my wild card team if I believe
Okay.
that Washington can
Yes,
press for the
Jimmy
playoff.
Lake.
Wow,
I'm going Jimmy Lake. I'm going,
Jimmy
and that's
Lake.
because here's the thing: all these playoff teams, right?
Mhm.
Dabo's not going to win it.
Mm-mm.
I don't think Lincoln Riley's going to win it because they're expected to be there. I don't think
But-
Kirby Smart's going to win it. I don't think Ryan Day's going to
Lincoln
win it.
Riley's never won a playoff game, and if he takes them
I-
all the
But
way,
I think they give it before.
I don't think
the playoff.
Kentucky or
I
Wake
think-
Forest,
I
my
think.
surprise teams, will be good enough to get their coach of the year.
Okay, so it's the Home Depot Award, so it's given out in that.
December.
Right, so it's
Yeah.
before the playoffs.
So,
All right,
so then I'm left with Matt Campbell at Iowa State. I feel like he's a good candidate. Jimbo's a great candidate.
So Jamie Chadwell last year, Coach O the year before, Brian Kelly, Scott Frost, Mike McIntyre at
Jesus.
Colorado, then Dabo.
So this
Gus
is all-
Malzahn won it back-to-back years.
This is all just surprise teams. Outside of like Ed Orgeron was a huge surprise.
Yeah, and it's like funny to say surprise teams because at
Yeah.
the time, like like Clemson was a surprise.
You could
team.
see if they go 12-0, Luke Fickle will win this award.
yeah.
Yes.
I thought about Luke Fickle. I'm going to go Jimmy Lake because I think they'll be like 11-1, 12-0, and
like
Yes.
and I think you have to give it to him at that.
Do
point.
it, yeah.
I guess,
no.
yeah, you're right. All of them are surprise teams. So,
Yeah.
like,
Who
Lincoln
else
Riley.
didn't say one?
We all said them.
Did you say one, Katie?
Yep.
Yeah,
Lincoln
shoot yours was
Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
And the first coach to be fired.
Justin Fuente.
Yep.
I think that's
That's
a
why I think
resounding
they'll
yes.
be good because it's such a everyone just thinks. Maybe I'm just so against the grain. That's my whole.
The only other one I thought of was maybe Scott Frost, but I've been on the Justin Fuente trying. I think that it's going to be.
You know what's wild? The most cutthroat conference doesn't really have any huge firing candidates this year because they've just been so much bloodletting in recent years. Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach both in their second
There
year.
was so much bloodletting.
Missouri second year. Arkansas
Arkansas
second
second
year.
And then like you
And
look
then
at the Kentucky's like he could
Kentucky's
go 0-12.
Georgia's-
He wouldn't.
Georgia's
South Carolina
fine.
has a new one.
South Carolina has a new one. So Tennessee has a new one.
Yeah,
Like, there's not really anything to fire. Nobody's going to get fired in the SEC this year. I don't think.
unless they do something
Vanderbilt,
like
no.
Coach O.
Oh yeah, unless they. You know,
Oh,
right, unless it's
you
off
could.
the field.
Coach
stuff.
O's
Right.
probably the favorite.
I would say at
Yeah.
the SEC the favorite. So I go back to maybe Scott Frost.
Yeah,
What will it take for Jim Harbaugh to be fired?
No, he won't get fired.
I don't think
he
he'll
would
get
have
fired
to go 3-9.
during. I don't think he'll get
I
fired
disagree.
during
Give
the
me
season.
Jim Harbaugh
Okay.
because
You think he'll be the first one fired?
I don't know that we'll have a coach fired in the season.
It doesn't feel like there's.
No, they're gonna let him play Ohio State.
Give me Jim Harbaugh because
They're gonna let him play Ohio State.
give me Jim Harbaugh because I
Then he's gonna
believe we've
die.
bought into this narrative that because they extended him last year, he's safe forever. No, he's still on thin ice.
Oh, I don't think he's safe forever, but I don't think that they will. Even if they absolutely stink, I
What?
do not think that they will
This would
fire him
be
before
shocking.
Ohio State.
But if USC loses to Stanford in week 2, Clay Helton will
Clay
be
Helton,
fired.
yes.
Give me Jim Harbaugh. You got Clay Helton?
No, I think USC will be like they won't lose that game.
I'll-
I'll
really
switch.
good.
Mine
I'll switch to Clay Helton for when we won on Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Walt Bell will be
Oh
the
my
first coach fired.
I looked at UConn's schedule today because on the Pick Central, somebody gave him as an over.
Yes, you know who's leading that charge? Stanford Steve.
So I think Mark and Philly called in.
Okay,
and
awesome.
gave it.
Yeah,
He's a good gambler.
Yeah, I follow him
because
on
you guys
Twitter, shout out.
you guys play Yale.
Yep.
Holy Cross.
Yep.
And it all comes down
And
to
UMass.
It all comes
No,
down to UMass.
wait. I'm going to stop you right there. We could lose to Yale. 100%. No. No doubt in my mind we're going to lose to Yale. Sorry.
Well, that's not great.
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm just
Sure
letting you know
isn't.
that it doesn't come down to UMass. It comes down Holy Cross.
Well, if you don't beat Yale, it doesn't come down to anything. You're not going to make it.
No, we could win some games. We could beat Wyoming. We could beat
Wyoming is going to be way better than UConn.
They're coming to us.
Who cares?
We could beat Vandy for sure.
You can't beat Yale, but you're going to beat
We
Vandy?
100% could beat Middle Tennessee at home.
I can't handle.
It's
this.
UConn.
I can't.
I
can't
could
with
see.
him.
You know
I
who's
can't
a
with him.
good.
with him.
biggest.
You know who's a good candidate for first head coach to be fired that we don't talk about, and there was news that came out today about this school. I could really see if Houston gets off to a bad start. Dana Holgerson, who really made a weird choice looking back on it.
Yeah.
He did.
He had
Very
a great
weird.
job.
A great job in the Big 12, and let's be honest, it's not that hard to rebuild at West Virginia.
No.
And West Virginia is so perfectly not centered, but like geographically that if they ended up, what's going on over there?
She's touching me.
If they ended up losing,
No,
or
not
if the
square.
Big 12 ended up falling apart, the Big 10 or ACC is going to pick them up because they own a state. But UConn, I could see going 4-8 this year, 5-7.
Shall we do biggest disappointment?
Yes. Didn't we already?
That's what we just did.
But
Sorry,
we
big game
have
of
to
the year.
read the
Game of the year,
tweets.
my bad.
We have to read the tweets.
No, we can't read the tweets.
I
We
have to read
to.
the tweets.
We have to.
if you need to go, you can go, sweetie. That's fine.
We
but
gotta read the tweets.
There's literally 200 answers.
Yeah, we
Okay,
I'm
we
not
gotta
gonna
gotta
read all
read
of
the tweets.
It'll be quick. It'll be quick.
Okay, but are we gonna do game of the year? Can we just
Forgot about
rapid fire?
Yeah, rapid fire. Game
Well,
of the year.
I mean, because of what I think my playoff.
It's
fours will look
Alabama
like,
A&M.
Alabama A&M.
Katie.
UNC Notre Dame.
Wow.
Jack. Game
Jack.
of the year,
Jack.
Jack.
Alabama, Florida. That's an awful.
Oklahoma, Iowa State.
Mine's the worst one ever, so I'm just gonna switch to Alabama, Texas A&M.
Okay. All right. We asked you. We record in 30 minutes. We want you to answer this question. Who would be the most disappointing team in 2021?
People loved this tweet.
Con said Navy. That's just.
It's first time
Hey, what's-
Cons has made us laugh.
What's Con's word today?
I'm just kidding, Cons. I love
Cons, your word is I don't know, strawberry shortcake. Have I used that one before?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was about to say strawberry. That freaks me out.
Okay. Yeah.
That freaks me
I was
out.
gonna say grapefruit
we're all
jelly
on the
donut.
same energy.
Holy shit.
all right. New one.
Okay.
Let's see.
No, strawberry shortcake is
Strawberry
fine. But
shortcake?
It was just
All right.
weird that I was thinking strawberry.
Raspberry beret. How about that one?
Okay.
All right.
Ew.
Raspberry. Nothing.
No.
That does
No.
nothing for you.
No.
I don't know.
You either?
No. What is
You're
that?
old enough to know Prince.
Oh shit, you're right. That's my bad.
Jack Harvey says Iowa State. Brock Purdy is okay, and Brees Hall is great, but not too many offensive weapons beside that. They're a Big 10 team in the Big 12. I don't hate that take. I mean, I don't.
Again, it's just like where do you put how do you define
But if
disappointment?
you're, if,
Semantics, semantics.
them, if they went 8-4, they would be colossally disappointed.
Who?
Iowa State.
Yeah, because this is their year.
This is their year,
this
and
is-
this is when it hurts the most.
You know what we didn't do? I'm going to write this down for next offseason. Worst losses we should rank at some point, like Iowa losing to Michigan State. That's one of the worst losses, not because of it was brutal loss. It was because of that long drive. But those losses where you know it's over, you guys are probably up there too. It doesn't relate to Alabama losing to Auburn.
I think the worst one is West Virginia losing to Pitt. 13-9. Yeah.
Because then they lost their coach and then everything
Yeah.
fell apart.
Let's see.
Quickly.
Okay. Ian Nickel. We're gonna skip that one. He literally says Mississippi State, Texas A&M, UConn, North Carolina.
I mean, that's funny.
Just kidding, but it's gonna be Indiana.
That's fine.
Nick
funny.
Wagner says Texas A&M, and it isn't even close. One decent season in the last 20 years. In case he loses their mind, they're closer to Auburn than Alabama. Everybody pump the brakes. He misspelled brakes. First of all, I hate when people use "and not even close" because that's just stupid. It's just
It will be close no matter what.
Yeah, and then one decent season in the last 20 years. That's just not true.
It's just not true.
Johnny won the Heisman. And they lost one game that year, right? Two games. They went 12-2.
Yeah, Florida and LSU.
Yeah, but that was a fantastic season. And they finished number 5 last year.
And then like every season, I mean, it was disappointing, but every season they started like 5-0.
Let's see. Cam Wheat says UCF.
Someone's
Jeff Lindenmoyer says
UCF.
I think it's Clemson.
Okay.
I have one that I think is very funny.
While DJ did show potential of being good last year, I think he struggled starting off against Georgia, and Clemson loses another 1-2 games during the regular season.
PMT fan says you can always bank on either the Longhorns or Aggies for this one, and I think that's very funny.
Very fair as well. Texas A&M says Cole Payne. Jacob Rice says LSU. They stunk to high heaven last year, and nobody they gained stands out to me. Coach O will be in the hot seat if they're 6-6 or worse. And then, of course, whiny-ass, bitchy LSU fans. Congrats for having no idea about what changed for LSU football and thinking a number 3 recruiting class won't stand out. They are so ripe for disappointment because they are just buying straight back in even though they sucked last year.
Ripe for disappointment is such a good way to put that.
I'm ready for LSU. Like,
I mean, their fans just won't. They act like they're coming off a national title now.
And they get mad when you say how bad their season was last year.
Let's see.
And they get mad if you say that they caught lightning in a bottle.
Kelby says Notre Dame. They have no right to be in the top 10 with so few returning starters. I don't expect to see them get as much as one vote as the end of the year.
Brad Ritt agrees with me. Ohio State will miss the playoffs.
Brad Ritt's an idiot. Andy Grutkowski, UNC, they're ranked top 10, but they won't be anything special. Drunk. Okay. Somebody says Miami. Big Screaming Honkers, #1 fan, can suck my dick. Georgia, plenty of talent, but injuries, plus being a sports team in Georgia, plus Kirby makes it feel like a team that absolutely should be a contender. Could be 10-2 before the SEC championship game and a New Year's Six team. Chandler Russell says Florida or Texas. The Raging Cajuns ruined Texas' season, and the Kentucky Wildcats ruined Florida's. First victory at home.
No one said Alabama, which is weird because.
Well, wait, have you gone all the way through it?
I'm looking through it, and I haven't seen
I'm just saying we haven't even mentioned it.
Okay.
Because they're the easiest to disappoint.
But I don't think they're going to be.
Barstool, Colorado State says Wyoming. I like that pettiness.
Jimmy P says Ohio State, beginning of the end for Ryan Day, and Georgia has perpetual blue balls.
Beginning of the
That's
end.
Whoa.
So I just really like that he said Georgia has perpetual blue balls.
Okay. But beginning of the end for Ryan Day, like that guy is as safe as safe gets.
Yeah, no,
they
he's
can
not.
go 0-12.
But I didn't agree with that part, but I do think
I got one. Sam McNamara, Alabama. Perfect letdown spot. 10-2 inbound. New Year's Eve bowl bound. That's fine.
Okay.
Miami can't wait for the war that's about to begin under this tweet, and nobody said anything, so that Florida State fan just wanted to be a bitch and didn't work. Alabama, not necessarily disappointing, but for Alabama standards, disappointing. They lose 2 or 3 games. Attack sheet.
A lot of
Texas A&M breaking in a new O-line, a new quarterback with Jimbo's archaic offense. It's going to be, and that's cringe emoji, I think.
Yes, I saw that one too.
I wouldn't say that offense is archaic at all.
I would not say it's not archaic at all either.
Last year's offense was pretty cool. I mean,
they spread it out. They
like,
run a lot, but just because you run a lot doesn't mean that's
and they
archaic.
they have a great running back. And then I don't know. I wouldn't have said last year's offense was that at all.
Brad Sinderling, who's a frequent flyer, says Georgia. They'll never have a better chance than now to win a natty with Clemson, Ohio State, and Bama all transitioning new quarterbacks. They'll end up with 2 or 3 losses and blow it like they do every year. That has 11 likes, by the way.
Cottonwood Joey, TCU, they get Big 12 dark horse hype every year, and it's just been okay for a few years now. Patterson is on a downward trajectory, and that won't change here.
Tequila Travis says UConn. Big drop-off after winning it all last year.
Fair.
Jive Jimbo Fisher says Oklahoma hype is too high.
Jimbo Fisher.
Northwestern says Benny the Jet. They lost so much and nobody seems to be talking about it. They're going to stink.
We talked about that.
We did because we're smart.
Also, it's hard to disappoint Northwestern fans because like they just
don't
say,
exist.
"Oh, sports don't matter."
JB actually says Auburn. This could be their worst year since 2012. A new head coach and inconsistent quarterback seems like a recipe for disaster. Only thing that can give hope is the running backs and maybe their defense.
A lot of Cincy's.
I got Oregon, and then I got Alabama and Oregon, says Mark. I don't believe either win their conference this year. Jesse, Dr. Feelgood, says Notre Dame, 7-5 at best. That's a good hot take. I like that one.
We got roasted on one.
Tom Manning Burner says Minnesota. Go ahead. What's our roast?
Jordan Daniels says, why does the unnecessary roughness merch suck so bad?
Why don't you suck my fucking dick?
Yeah, wait.
Whoa,
why
I
don't you
mean,
wait
like,
and see?
what?
Also,
Jordan
yeah.
Daniels.
We coming.
Why don't you give us a week, buddy? Give us a week.
Oh, this one's funny. The Empire State Building social media team.
Yeah.
Jack, you were taking shots at him today because he didn't
put me in the list.
I've never been in a list. Makes
Well,
it feel better.
you didn't start on the same day as him 4 years ago.
Texas A&M says
I sit
Christian
next to him.
Gordon. Most important position is quarterback, and you'll have a true freshman play in the SEC. That's not right. He may be great, and I may be wrong, but he also could be terrible. Was that a Billy Joel lyric? He may be great, I may be wrong.
Justin Dittmer says, my
But he
heart says
also-
Texas, but my mind says LSU.
Okay, that was a good song I had going.
Well, I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube.
Trust
Fine.
me, no one's picking up what Brandon was saying.
Jason Poston says Iowa. They could easily be 0-2 to start the season, and Petrus is overhyped.
I'd agree with
Who
that.
the fuck is hyping Spencer Petrus?
I think Iowa as a whole is overhyped a bit.
Also,
think
whoever
somebody
finishes
did tweet us, why didn't we put Petrus on our top 5
Yeah,
quarterback
I
list?
saw
So
that.
there are
Poor
people
man.
hyping him.
because he,
They're homers.
yeah.
Is
Iowa fans being homers? No.
Even
Not the
what's
biggest
it,
group of dipshits in America. Aggie Takes says Cincy or Coastal. Alabama only because of how successful they've been. Foster Reynolds says App State. Chance says LSU. The media is putting a lot of expectations for a team that went 5-5 last season. Correct. Cottonwood Joey, you've already read.
I've already read that.
Looks like we're
Yeah.
crossing streams
We're
now.
crossing- ew.
That's enough, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
we just read like
Yeah, a
50
bunch.
to 100.
There's the common themes for sure.
Yeah. I'm
Only
scrolling real
130
quick
teams, and
to
then
see if we have anything. Buffalo, they lost a
saw
lot of
Buffalo.
talent, and their head coach of Kansas probably take a big step back in action.
I saw App State.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I read App
Yeah.
State.
I think App State's going to win the Sun Belt.
I think Louisiana or Coastal. And
Every
nope.
Every time.
That's
Every
third
time.
one's not empty. Don't do it. Okay.
All
Hell
right.
yeah.
Should we end the podcast?
We should. I was just trying to see. I don't see anybody new. That's all.
Before
the
we
same.
go,
Oh my God.
play Barstool app this weekend.
Yes.
Also
R&R.
have a R&R this Friday. If you're in Jersey or in New York City and want to go to Jersey and start, you could do that too. Hey guys, this weekend we're gonna have a special promo boost for Jonathan the Husky, who unfortunately passed away this off season and UConn's first game. So keep an eye out for that. We'll tweet about it.
All right.
Come on, UConn. This is big season. I'm really excited. It's gonna be great.
Oh,
Week
no.
0.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it at all, but
Yeah,
it's
we
not
did. We did an
almost
entire
barely.
preview.
All right, but Nebraska, Illinois. What are you feeling? Just real
I'm
quick.
gonna take Illinois because I like Brett Bielema.
Okay, I'm taking the under in that one big time. And my lock of the week: Fresno State's going to beat the shit out of UConn.
Shit.
I thought about that, but I took that
think
off.
so,
The
too.
Fresno.
I mean the
I mean,
shit.
it's gonna be.
All right.
Fresno
Right.
State's good.
No,
I
they're not.
never said
know.
that
They were like
Fresno
5-3
State wasn't
last
bad.
year.
I just
They're
believe
gonna
in
be
my
good
I,
this
he
year.
just wants to piss Jack.
They got
off.
great offense coming. Jake Hender's going to be good. Anyway,
A better lock is under for Southern Utah.
I don't care what
San
you
Jose.
think, Katie.
Hey, I can't
Deal
wait
with
to
it.
start gambling on college football again.
I love you all.
Love you.
Fresno State's right. 82nd.
We
in
love you.
S&P.
We'll see you next
Watch.
week.
Okay.
Just watch.
Happy football
The
season.
BW
Happy football
plus.
season.
Just watch.
Yeah,
Happy
I'm going
week
to.
zero.
Just watch.
I
Just
mean,
UConn.
God damn it, will both of you shut the fuck up?
Also,
UC.
Adrian Martini.
Oh,
Shut the fuck up.
Rushing yards over.
That's unnecessary roughness.